On air. We are on air now. What's in the chat? Should I look? Is it good? Is it awesome? Clicking on it. Was it a link? I clicked on it. Okay, that's a link. That's fine. Hold on a second. When I click on that, I lose my my sound effect button. Uh-oh. Nope. Wait a minute. Okay. Sound effect. Everyone hears that?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do one more quick test of the audio recording. Looks like all the little thingies are bouncing up and down. Picking up all the things. Can you hear that traffic?
No.
Oh, a car just drove by. You can hear that? Okay, good. That's why I always use the headset, as opposed to my fancy snowball mic. These are actually getting pretty cheap. I don't know if you guys...
The blue snowball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one.
I need to want to get something like that.
Toys R Us actually sells them for whatever reason, and they're $50 Canadian right now, so that's got to be like
that's
75 cents American. We always got to make that joke because it's sad and true. I'm starting recording. I'm not streaming, but recording. So I use my I use the OBS to record this, and then I just rip the audio, and then that's what I use for the. Looks pretty good. It just records everything. I don't have to worry about it. All the sound effects and all of that. All right, so we should be live. I'm going to put that link into my own browser so I can see the chat. There's probably a better way to read the chat. I don't know. They could make it easier. Sounds good. Test. You guys want the link? Well, it's probably in there. I don't know if you guys have the button.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool. I'm going to tweet this out. We are live with hashtag, no, not hashtag, at Brasel and at IT. Is Mrs. Q going to be in the chat, do you think? Or I guess it's just wait and see.
She might, yeah. I told her that you were streaming it, so.
Yeah, all right. All right, cool. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, put a little tweet out there. I didn't mention HYPECAST. That's fine. I'm sure they get the gist of it. I'm getting sleepy now. It's been a long week. I don't like this weather one bit. Need to move up north to the North Pole. It's probably still cold there. Probably. I'm not sure. Times are tough these days. Alright, zip my list back up. Alright, sounds good. August, HYPECAST, episode 20. Recording date August 19th. Yeah. Everything's recording. 2 minutes in. Alright, cool. One last. Yeah, alright, cool. Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome to the latest episode of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. This is episode 20. Our recording date is August the 19th. It is Friday night, evening, night. I mean, it's still pretty darn sunny and hot out. This has been a hot week. Today has to have been the hottest day of the year. It was out of control. I'm glad to not be at work right now, though, and I'm much enthused to be talking some toys, actually. Toys will be our main topic, be they retro or modern, a bit of both. And I will be joined this episode with returning guest Brasel the Gamer and brand new guest for the CAPMAX HYPECAST, Eric the Mighty Q-Dog. Gentlemen, how's it going today?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. Now, jumping right in, Eric's actually been listening to old HYPECAST episodes. Is the show getting better or worse? That's all I need to know.
No, I'm sure it's good. Yeah, I'm sure it's getting better. I think I'm about 6 episodes in, so I haven't made it super far, but I'm definitely trying to do it. And I'll tell you, Stephen, it's confusing listening to these old episodes because you guys are talking about stuff from I think 2014 or 2013 even, and I'm like, or I think it's 2014, and I'm like, that's really old, and I have to remember that. No, it's current news.
The hype's gone cold.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, the show's great. I've been
chilly.
really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. What episode did you say you were on?
I think I'm only on 6.
6.
So I know. What are we on? What did you say? We're on 20 now. So yeah, I've got my work cut out for me.
Episode 20.
Yeah.
I feel so bad that all the old episodes are not on my Podomatic page. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to do the whole Patreon thing. I know Brasel's getting a few bucks out of that, and Cartridge Brothers are doing that, and everyone's Patreoning. I was listening to RF Generation Collector Cast, I believe, and they were saying that they just sold one of their copies of Stadium Events for the NES. I think he mentioned a total of around $9,000 for that card. Does that sound about right? Brasel, you would know. Is that what Stadium
Events? 9,000?
I think that was around the number they said.
Yeah, I think somebody was trying to sell it for 10,000. We actually had a guy in our St. Louis Retro Gaming group find one that he bought it for $100 because the guy that was selling it thought it was a PAL copy, and that's still low for the PAL copy, so he just sold it to him, and then he was like, "Oh nope, this is the NTSC," and he was trying to sell it for like 10,000, and he got featured on the Completely Useless or Completely Unnecessary podcast or whatever that one's called, and
that's how you get famous, I guess. In this.
Yeah, but I don't remember if he sold it or not. But
yeah, back to what I was saying. They were mentioning that one of the guys on the show just sold one of those, and then later they're doing ads for one of their friends' stores, and they're talking about their own Patreon. I'm like, well, wait a minute, you just brought in $9,000 more, and you're still trying to get a few bucks from the listeners. Anyways, fun show. Actually, that was a good episode. They were talking about Pokemon Go. Are you guys into that Pokemon Go yet? People are. All the podcasts I'm listening to, everyone's Pokemon going.
Yeah, I've been playing it a little bit.
My phone's
but I'm like within walking distance of a really nice downtown area in my town. It's like a little small town USA looking thing. So it's not like a big. I'm not in a big city or anything like that, but we've got like a really nice downtown area, and they've got like a bunch of little historic sites. So those are all Pokestops. There's like 10 of them around me. So like every night when I go out, if I went out there right now, there'd probably be 50 people walking up and down the street playing the damn thing. And I got sucked into it a little bit. I haven't been playing it as much lately, but I still boot it up like every day or two just to see if there's anything I can anything I can catch. But
damn popular. I want that to be on like a portable console. I don't know if it could be. I guess it needs the 3G. It's so dependent on 3G.
Yeah.
Vita, when the Vita came out, it had a 3D model, did it not?
Did it?
There's something.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
And it just became Wi-Fi.
3G or 4G, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey.
right, yeah.
Potential is there. Bring back Invisimals. Invisimals. Available now for your PSP. Camera included. Anyways.
Yeah.
We're talking about episode 6 of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. So we had Trent. He was the original editor of the show. That was awesome. I barely had to do anything. I barely do anything now. Wait a minute. I can add amusing sound effects at least. The time has passed. Anyways. I gotta remember what button does what again. I was just thinking about that episode. It's got Brennan was on there from Public Cocoon. He hasn't been doing much lately, but he's started to stream again, and he's uploaded a couple of videos. He's a more or less local bro. He lives in Vancouver. As you may find out in that episode, he was actually late for it because the SkyTrain, aka the subway, broke down when he was en route to get home to be on the show.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Anyways.
That sounds right.
Yeah. It'll happen. Checking in with the chat, we have Aussie. Birthday cast. It was recently my birthday. I will give myself an applause. There you go. Yay. Aussie wants Eric to show us the games behind him.
All right. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, sure.
See if I can move the camera here.
Okay, so Eric's known for collecting a whole bunch of games, so he's moving his camera around.
He's got a lot better collection than I do. That's for sure.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know if you can't really see it. It's primarily my Master System, which are the big white things in the middle. It's an almost complete U.S. collection. Back in there, back in the far side, is my Genesis, 32X, and Saturn. What am I doing here? The Saturn on the bottom, and then close here are NES that I've put in universal game cases.
Nice.
I got the black box there. There's some loose ones way at the top, and then all the way across the top are the Amiibos.
Oh boy.
I got about 45. Yeah. Sorry. I can't show it much closer than that. I apologize, but
very good. Good times. Mrs. Q-Dog is in the chat.
oh, great.
Careful what you say.
Yeah, she caught me last time I said something. So.
Uh-oh. Every time. I gotta stop going away from the sound effect button.
She wants to free the Amiibos. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh, I have some that are free, some that aren't. I mean, they're fun, but then they get dusty.
Yeah, they get dusty.
That one on my desk even.
Yeah, got a dusty Sonic. That's not right. Shouldn't be like that. Then I got sealed ones over there, and those are dusty too. So I guess you just can't win.
The little Yarn Yoshi.
But yeah, anyways, thank you for being here, Eric. Now, did you prefer us to call you Eric or Mighty Q or Q Dog or just whatever?
No. You call me Eric. My name came from my Xbox account, and I've never been super thrilled with it. It was sort of what I could come up with, and it was a combination of two nicknames. So you can call me Eric.
Alrighty. What else we have for the Eric files? Recent survivor of the One Console Challenge.
Oh God.
What'd you guys
talk about?
Sure, go ahead. Just a little bit.
Yeah, there's not much. It's the One Console Challenge was the Cartridge Club play one console for the entire year 2016. There were probably about 20 people, and we all decided by about the end of June we'd had enough. Although Melissa, she is technically, I think, still going. She picked the Wii U, and she loves it, and she ultimately, I think, outlasted the rest of us. But life's too short to not play all the games or whatever games you want. So I'm really glad to be done with it. It was fun while it lasted, but it lasted just long enough. A year is too long.
Oh, so you did have some fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys was the Cartridge Club like picked in such a way, like did they do it in such a way while the One Console Challenge was going on that, everybody would really still be able to participate?
Oh yeah, there was actually, so that's what saved me, because there was an exception for the One Console Challenge that you could play any of the Cartridge Club games of the month.
Oh, okay.
And it turns out that in my case, I don't play a lot of games, I guess, but it turns out that in my case, I think at least half or more of the games I ended up playing were actually not on my console of choice because they were Cartridge Club games.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So what
was your console?
I picked the Xbox 360 because I have such a big backlog of stuff I want to play, and I thought it'd be a good time to hit that generation before I completely forgot about it and moved on to the new stuff. But so yeah, I played a few.
I do not have the Xbox One sound effect button here. Whatever it sounds like. Well, you made it through in one piece. I guess Melissa's Animal Crossing Village is just... I'm picturing like 28 days later, it's just animals just killing each other for survival.
Yeah.
Angriness. And you recently built a playground in your backyard.
Oh, yeah, I did for the kids. We finally finished that up.
Nice.
That was something.
Pretty intense.
Yeah.
Now, back in my day, playgrounds, you could kill yourself on a playground in a park. Slides were so high up, and there was no railings. Man, good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Weeds out the slow kids. Nowadays, just let them all through.
Nowadays
It's all the
Yeah.
jobs people could be having taking care of those kids as the parents are away at work. Anyways, I know where this line of thing is going. Eric, tell the people about your YouTube channel and, of course, where they can find that and your Twitter handle.
Sure. So my wife Melissa and I are on a YouTube channel we just call the Mighty Q Dog. I think there is actually a "the" in there. And we pretty much do. We started sort of just by doing pickups and kind of showing our collection, just to show people, I guess, what we had picked up or what we were collecting.
Mm-hmm.
And then lately we've done this Q Dog House in the Q Dog House series of weekly short videos we do, just to kind of interact more with the members of the Cartridge Club. I think it's kind of Cartridge Club focused.
Yeah.
And then we're both on Twitter. I'm at Mighty Q Dog, and that's DAWG, and Melissa is at Mrs. Q Dog. So yeah, definitely check us out on Twitter. We're try to be pretty active in the community on Twitter.
Very good. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I love adding these sound effects. Good times, good times. Alrighty, and returning guest from the last episode, actually, we have Brasel the Gamer. Now, did we mention your 1,000+ subs last time?
No, it was the road to 1,000 at that point.
Okay, he's done it. Alright, you get an applause too. The audience is gonna get all worn out. So, how's it feel being in that next echelon of YouTubery?
I don't know. I just hit my shit. Okay. I don't know. It doesn't
make a difference at all.
It's weird. Once I crossed that 1,000 subscriber, it was no different than it normally was.
Yeah.
But then immediately after that, I had a collab with Mike Tendo from Dongled. He does the Dude, You Haven't Played This Game series. And then I got a bunch of subscribers from him, like right after I'd already hit 1,000. And so then people started interacting with me more and leaving more comments. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's what I do. I like responding to everyone's comments on my YouTube channel. And then I got a shout out from Wood from Beat 'Em Ups, who's got like 22,000 subscribers. And in the next, couple days, I had like increased from like 300 to 400 subscribers in just like a couple days. So
pretty good.
Now I'm sitting at like 1,400 or something like that, and
wow.
My projections have me at 3,000 by the end of the year. So we'll see if that happens. And it's weird because people are like, whenever I go live on YouTube now, like if I just stream for whatever reason, I used to do it just for the hell of it. It was never a planned thing, but now like people are just flooding into my YouTube channel, and I'm having to respond to a lot more comments, and it's kind of tiresome. So as long as I can keep doing that, I will. But
you're almost at the point where you can't get to everyone.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just like it's growing so quick that it's like, God. So we'll see what happens within the next couple months. Maybe it'll slow down, but if it doesn't, I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. I'll figure it out.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I think you presented Eric for that whole spiel, sir. Right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah. And you were mentioning in the last episode Missouri Game Convention?
Yeah, the Missouri Game Convention was last weekend. Most of the admins, all the admins but one, made it up to my house, and we played 6-man X-Men Arcade and we played both the Ninja Turtle arcade games. We played The Simpsons on Friday. I took them to a couple game stores. Two of the guys, Agro Sky and Nate, came in from Florida, so that was really cool. And then we took them to game stores and did a bunch of just fun stuff. And then the convention was Saturday. Met a lot of cool people. Talked to some people I hadn't seen in a while. It was a lot of fun. Had a good time.
Nice. Is there footage of that on the way?
From me, no. I did not take any footage. I know Cross Chop the channel Crosschop Chris. He did a video on it. He did a really good video on it.
Okay.
And yeah, look him up, Crosschop Chris. I don't even know what his thing is offhand. But he put out a really good video on the convention.
Very good. Quick shout out to the live stream viewers. We had Musty Hobbit in the chat as well. Thank you for joining us tonight, Musty. And I don't like how these Google things, they always open in a new window, and then you got the tabs at the bottom, and the bars, and the tasks, and the tabs. It's crazy. All over the places. Oh, it's like an Apple commercial. If I had an Apple computer, I don't know. Alright, cool. Did Austin Clark end up showing up to that? I know he mentioned that he was nearby that area. I guess.
No, he
didn't see him.
No, I didn't see him.
Too far.
Yeah, I think he's a couple hours. I don't know. I think he had mentioned something about it while we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like when we were in the last typecast. But
yeah.
But
you didn't see him though.
I don't think he went.
Okay, that's fine. Just would have been neat. It's like, hey, you're that guy from that podcast. Hey. Alrighty, and where can the people find you? Be it YouTube, you're all over the place, aren't you? Just look for Brasel the Gamer.
Yeah, just look for Brasel the Gamer.
Is it one word?
Yeah, if you do it one word, you'll find me. If you do it all split up, you'll find me.
Pretty good.
Not hard.
Very good. Alrighty, and I'm Steven. Everyone, thank you for watching or listening to this latest episode of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. You can check me out on the CAPMAX Gaming YouTube channel. Just look for that. Occasional streaming, that's CAPMAX_gaming. Check me out on Twitter, that's at Steven Eider, Steven with a V, EIDHER. And I got nothing to tell you. I work outside, it's really hot out, and I'm so tired. I don't make enough money for this line of work, it's stupid. I was thinking if I worked at a shitty job indoors, the pay wouldn't be that much worse, and I'd be I think I'd have a lot more energy at the end of the day. It's not a career job I do. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm too old to be worrying about this stuff still. Anyways, is that all my intro stuff? We met everyone. Yeah, that sounds good. And how's the chat doing? Doop-doopy-doo. Hey, it's replayability. He hasn't been on the show. One of these days, we were going to do a Soma episode. I do love that game, though. I want to get a PS4, and then I want to replay Soma on the PS4. I want to see what that's like. Okay, there's this one scene in Soma. It doesn't happen often, but there's a scene where you're being chased by like a spooky ghost robot thing. And right when you get to the end of this hallway, the game loads the next scene, and everything just stops for the load. And I'm like, what? It's like one of the most tense scenes in the game that I can think of, and then it just stops to load. Why would you do that? Let the scene finish, and then let the loading commence. I couldn't believe that. Such a cool scene, and then stop loading. Couldn't believe that. Nothing worse than a loading screen in a spooky game. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Great game, though. Love that game. Brazel's wearing a Cartridge Club shirt? You suck up. That's the problem when I have all these windows open, that I don't get to actually keep an eye on the guests. Anyways, that means it must be time for what you've been playing, what you've been watching. So we'll just go on the list as we have it. Brazel, start us off. What you've been playing, what you've been watching?
I have been playing a couple things lately. Playing the Cartridge Club Game of the Month, Shovel Knight. And I played it through it before. It's an excellent game, so I'm playing through it again because it's an excellent game and I want to play it.
Okay.
So there's that. I'm also playing. I picked up Lufia 2 at the Missouri Game Convention. I was super stoked to finally pick it up.
Good
so
nice.
I have been playing that as well. And that's not for I'm not doing a video on that or anything. That's just playing it for me.
It's all
I'm also playing Pokemon Leaf Green, which is also just for me. I'm not doing it for any particular reason.
Good one.
Yeah, I kind of got hooked on that again after playing Pokemon Go. So we'd been playing Pokemon Go, or I'd been playing Pokemon Go, and I was like, man, really want to play the actual Pokemon, so I have been. It's fun.
It's certainly good timing with the next proper Pokemon game on the way. Everyone hyped for Pokemon again. It was definitely getting pretty stale.
Yeah, and I think the funny thing is, and I saw something about it. I don't think I saw any official numbers or from an official source or anything, but I did see a tweet that somebody had like screen capped something about how like 3DS sales are way up because of Pokemon Go, and so is Pokemon XY and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire or whatever, that series. They've sold a ton of them since Pokemon Go came out. But anyway. And I've been playing Gradius, various forms of Gradius, because I'm working on a video for that. And kind of fallen in love with that game whenever I didn't really... It's not that I didn't care for it before, I just was never really big into it. But with as much as I've been playing it to try to get decent enough at it to do capture footage and everything, I've really started to love it. So.
Did Agro offer any tips for you?
No.
No? I thought he loves the shmoops.
He
But
does.
he was the shmoop master.
He is, but I don't know. I just kind of did it on my own. Just kind of figured it out. So
there you go.
Yep.
Did you know that the Vic Viper is actually one of the mechs in Zone of the Enders 2?
No, I did not know that.
It's super cool. That's a hard fight. I was trying to replay it on the PS3 version, and I couldn't beat him. I was like, this is hard. Video games.
I only played the first Zone of the Enders. I didn't play the second one.
I used to think the second one was super good, but when I played it this more recent time, I was blown away by it.
Yeah.
And I love the robots. That's the whole reason why I started getting into the Transformers again. And we'll get into that, but I don't know. It wasn't Zone of the Enders 2 wasn't grabbing me like it did on the PS2. I don't know.
Yeah. I have to pick those up again because those aren't expensive games at all. Those are really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where else have we seen the Vic Viper? Parodius.
Yeah.
He's in there. Sort of.
YY World.
Yeah.
2.
It's a cool ship. Definitely good shmup ship.
Yep.
Shmup ship. Nemesis. Oh, that's... What was the story with that? You'll probably have that information in your video. But...
Yeah, I will. Nemesis was... It's weird, and I haven't found all the information on it yet, and I'm still kind of digging into it a little bit.
Is it like a Konami and Ultra Games sort of thing, where they wanted?
Yeah, I don't know why they did it, but whenever they brought Gradius, the arcade version of Gradius, to the world, they renamed it Nemesis, and I don't know why. I haven't found that information yet. I've been trying to dig for it so I can kind of have some information in the video, but all I know is that the arcade version here in the States and in Canada was called Nemesis instead of Gradius. But then whenever they brought it over to the NES, it was Gradius again.
Weird.
I don't know.
Do you have Life Force on your list as well?
It will not be on this video. I want to cover it eventually, but I think in the future what I'm going to do. Hey, no, because in the future I'm going to do a video, like a face-off for the better Gradius sequel, like I did with Mario, and it'll be Gradius 2 versus Life Force. So, even though Life Force is technically like a different series, but
well, it's still Big Viper, and then he's got Lord British or whatever the other ship is. That's a weird name. Isn't there like wasn't that a name of a guy?
He
in,
did.
Like a MMO.
Yeah.
British. That's a weird coincidence.
I can't even remember what it was. I want to say it was Ultima Online or something that he did something.
Something
I
like that.
can't
Yeah.
remember.
Oh, what about Crisis Force? Is that part of the thing as well? Have you heard of that one?
No, I don't think I have. Crisis
Look
Force?
that up. That's Famicom only. A very expensive game, unfortunately. I'd love to get it, but I don't need a $100 Famicom game right now. Yes, I do. I don't want to spend it though. Yeah. All right. Cool. Any other what you've been playing? What you've been watching?
No, have started watching Dragon Ball Z again. I just picked up season 4. I was watching through the whole series months and months ago, and I never got around to getting season 4 of Dragon Ball Z to start that up. But I just started it. I watched the Garlic Jr. saga. It's not great.
Not great.
Yep. So, yep, that's
Nice.
it.
I like the Frieza saga the best. That was cool. The whole turning sane for the first time, Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Good times, good times. All right, cool. Eric, tell us what you've been playing, what you've been watching.
Well, I've also been playing Shovel Knight for the
Mhm.
Cartridge Club. This is my first playthrough. I'm playing it on the 3DS, and
Hmm.
I'm probably about halfway.
That's as far as I got. I was playing it on the Wii U, and then I got an achievement saying halfway, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm halfway through the game already."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
just
didn't
got
want to
that.
speed through it, so I stopped, and I haven't played it since.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I
I'll get
guess,
there.
yeah, I'm taking it leisurely, I suppose. It's taking me a little bit. And Melissa started playing it, so
Hmm.
she's enjoying it. What else? I actually picked up, this was a couple of weeks ago, and I picked up Ease on the Turbo CD, which is an old Falcom or something pseudo RPG. It's more of a, I think it's like a dungeon crawl almost, but I've wanted to play that game for decades, and so I'm finally taking the opportunity to play that.
Is that the same one that's on the Super Nintendo?
The Super Nintendo's Ys 3,
Yeah,
and it's the only one that was, I think, released on Nintendo systems for a really long time.
yeah.
Was that the legit Ys 3?
I
Like,
don't know.
the Final Fantasies all got their new
Yeah,
numbers and all that.
I have no idea. I would assume so, just because they made it an Ys 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
There
never
was
saw
one
another
movie.
Ys game.
Yeah.
At least in the States. I don't know if it was released on like something else in the Japan or anything.
Well, maybe that's the one Eric was playing. Maybe they were just thinking that same.
No, yeah, no.
Right after that.
The East 1 came out. East 1 and 2 came out on the Turbo CD. Those are definitely the first two games. They were supposed to be one game. They kind of split them into two. East 1 was also available on the Master System, and then East 3 came out for Super Nintendo and Genesis. And I think it's like 4. I think 4 is the one that got really messed up, where two people made the game. Like two groups made East 4, and then they were arguing, or there was some debate about which one was the canonical version, and then some of the others, like 6, I forget. 6, I think, might be Oath and Falgana. That was released for PSP, and there's East 7, and the series is
Hard to
all
keep
messed
up.
up, and it's, yeah, I can't, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who knows it better than I do, but
Shout out to Darren from the Gaming Pilgrimage. I know he's played a few of those.
yeah, so someone can figure it out, but
Wait a minute. Get the laughter ready. One thing's for sure, it's certainly not easy to keep up with that series. Wait a minute. Follow up. Find the button.
very nice, yeah. Yeah, anyway, so I've been playing the first game.
Very good sound effects. Very good. Is that just the Hue card, or is it Hue card, or is it with the CD?
It's the CD.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's gotta be a rare console. I don't think I've ever. Is the CD part of the console, or was it like an add-on a la Sega CD?
The one I have is an add-on. It was originally an add-on, and then they built them together as a Turbo Duo or something, but
Yeah.
I got lucky and found it on Craigslist of all places, and I couldn't believe it hadn't been snatched.
Mm-hmm.
So I got lucky, grabbed it, and when it had East, that was the game I knew of back from when I was a kid, and so I thought I should probably play the game before the system goes kaput, and I have to repair it.
No.
I don't expect those systems to last very long, so I'm guessing it could go at any time, but thought it was time to play the game. And
Yeah, TurboGrafx is super cool. I used to play it at Radio Shack a lot when they had their little demo kiosk things. That was awesome. Good system.
Still never played an actual system. Played emulation, but
Damn, dude, did you see any at the Missouri?
no, I didn't. I saw games for it. I didn't see any systems.
Games are always super expensive too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turbo
Unfortunate.
is expensive.
Really neat cards too. If anyone listening or watching has never seen a TurboGrafx 16 cartridge, quote unquote, check it out. It's literally like a little credit card. Really neat. I bought at a local shop. I bought Pac-Land, one of those, the one for TurboGrafx 16, just because it had all the packaging. There's a lot of packaging. There's like a box, and then in the box was the CD jewel case, and in that was a plastic slip, and in that is the Hue card or Hue card. Man,
That's right, yeah.
like I think I mentioned it on the show before that the whole thing with the TurboGrafx 16 is that the original version, the PC Engine, is like a super small, compact, adorable, awesome console. But because Americans in North America or whatever at the time, bigger was better. They're like, well, we got to redesign this silly little trinket. We got to make it big and appealing for Americans. So they redesigned the entire hardware to make this big slab of console. Just because they knew that's what the Americans wanted out of their consoles.
I think it's half empty. I think the board is the same board, and it's just a half empty shell.
I mean, you could say the same thing about the NES, right? So Famicom's a very compact device, very short cords, admittedly. But then the NES, and it's just like this huge VCR type product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. They had a fun sense of style in those days. That's for sure. Alrighty, let me just check with the chat here. I saw there was a conversation. We had Musty Hobbit shouting out. Was it Stephen Garriott? That was the Ultima guy, or was it Richard Garriott?
Richard.
We weren't sure. I think Richard Garriott. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And Brasel's like, oops, forgot the chat. It's hard to keep it tracking all that stuff.
Yeah.
We got Lexi in the chat. Welcome to the show. She was on an episode pretty recently, and Musty as well wants a TurboGrafx 16. They're a cool system. I say look one up, but don't overspend. I mean, retro game is just out of control. The cost of all this stuff. I think I overwhelmed myself. That's why I started doing the whole toy collecting thing again. Anyways, we'll get to that. And Eric has one more item on his list.
What did I put?
B versus S.
Oh, yeah. B versus... Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we just watched... I tweeted about this. We just acquired Batman versus Superman, and so we watched it. So
Acquired.
We're a little late to the party. Huh?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either.
Oh.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. We finally watched it.
I don't think there's much to spoil.
It's kind of all there in the title.
Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about
No.
that shit.
Zombie Zod becomes Doomsday. Is this accurate? Something like that.
Do you want me to...
Not really, but is that to sum it up?
Yeah, that's
weird.
Something like that, yeah.
What was Doomsday in the original comic? He was just like I don't know. I don't
know, actually. I don't know.
He was just like this dude with horns all over his body. And he was like in a space prison, then he breaks out and then lands on Earth and then kills everything.
Well, he was very different in this.
Yeah.
At least the origin was different.
No doubt. Yeah. Did you guys finish watching Labyrinth, by the way?
Oh, yeah, we finished it.
What did you think of Labyrinth?
Well, I know you're a fan, Steven, so I'll have to...
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I don't... Oh,
no, it's fine. You can...
It's...
Honesty is important on the CAPMAX hype. Yes.
I wish I had seen it when I was younger. Because I think I would have... it would have had more of a... Certainly the puppeteering is fantastic, and, Jim Henson and all that stuff, but it's a bizarre... It's a bizarre movie
trippy,
to me,
right?
and it's trippy. That's a perfect word for it. It's trippy, and it's hard to like. I don't know. I guess I'll say it was hard to like that main character. She's not a very nice person. Yeah.
Well, it's a coming of age story.
Yeah.
Okay, check this out. I've been wanting to roll this by some people. So I think this was basically like an inner city story that they transmogrified into like a mystical whimsy of Dungeons and Dragons. The way I see it, Jareth the Goblin King is just like a pimp. He's like a thug, a gangsta of the time. Like he's basically like a drug peddler. Like you see him fiddling around with his crystals. Hello, when he does that. That's not him, by the way. That was like a hand double doing the.
Yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah.
Talk about just destroying my dreams, finding that out.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to peddle these drugs. Like he's got no power of his own, but he's got this influence over all these goblins who are basically like hobos and drug addicts, as far as I see it. And then you can get the whole thing about the kid. I don't know. Maybe she sold the kid for drugs. I don't know. You can read into it as much as you wanted, but there's something there.
It's an interesting theory.
There's a parallel.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that they were thinking of making Michael Jackson the original Goblin King. Maybe they're like, well, an African American inner city story. We can do something. They'll look back on it and realize it was they were looking at the world and as it was at the time. There's something there. Just saying. Anyways, great movie. If I worked that angle, I could probably make a whole YouTube video out of that concept. Anyways, good stuff. What was your favorite scene? There's so many. Helping Hands.
Oh, that was pretty good.
She chose down.
Yeah,
She chose down with all like the little faces out of the hands. That's super cool.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Spooky.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else that stands out.
The cleaners. That's kind of violent, eh? It's
The
a
cleaners?
piece of cake. Oh, let's see what you think of this little slice. And it's like a giant, like bladed death machine.
Oh,
going
yeah.
through the oubliette. Man, I
The
could talk about
oubliette. Yeah, I looked that up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a place to put people to forget about him.
Yeah.
He opens. There's like no doors. He puts the door up, opens it. Broom closet. Then he like closes it, opens it again, light behind it. There we go. I was going to take it back to the edge. Oh man,
Good impression. Yeah.
shouldn't have got me started. He's spritzing all the fairies at the start. They keep saying, "Don't take
yeah.
things for granted." Why do they keep saying that? There's some lessons there. I keep thinking when I'm thinking of trying to downsize stuff about the hobo goblins in the junkyard. It's like, oh man, is that what I'm gonna end up like? All the stuff stuck to your back.
Carrying all their stuff around. Yeah.
Those goblins are my heroes. Oh, such a cool movie. Did we ever do? You would know. You would listen to the old episodes. Did we ever talk about a Labyrinth episode?
Not so far. No.
Really?
I'm on
There
episode
was
6.
some episode we talked about it. I think Brian was there from the Average Podcast. Anyways,
I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not misremembering it.
Yeah, it might have been episode 7 or something.
You might have brought it. I don't know. I'm not sure, Stephen. I don't remember.
That's okay. There you go. Leslie's hoping to find the TurboGrafx at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. You're looking forward to that. We should put that at the end, though. I don't know if you had things on that list. Anyways.
Yeah.
Good times. I actually just watched the Labyrinth as well recently, so since it's my turn, we'll mention that. We both watched it. It's a great movie. Everyone should watch the Labyrinth. Jim Henson at his best.
Still haven't watched it.
Oh, man, it's so good. That's practical 80s physical puppet and muppetry at its finest. So good.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Shovel Knight and the Cartridge Club, first thing I have on my list of what I've been playing, what I've been watching, is Majora's Mask on 3DS. It's a game you kind of got to be in the mood for. You got to be in that very specific state of mind where, like Zelda games, they're all about like, oh help me, we're a family of monkeys and we can't cross the river. And then Link finds a raft, and then you help the monkeys and then you can get across. And then there's always that sense of like little quests and helping things get through their lives, and you're like you're just an awesome guy all around. But this game is like, hey, remember all that cool stuff you did? No, we're gonna make you go back in time. Those monkeys are back across the river. You can't help them. You can help them again if you want, but you're just gonna go back in time again.
Yeah.
Fascinating game.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan of Majora's Mask at all.
It's interesting how they decided some things you could keep, some things you lose when you go back in time.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's very Groundhog
It's like
Day-esque.
you don't have any they don't give you any opportunity to like explore. You know what I mean? Because you got to worry about whether or not you're gonna lose your progress because of the time stuff. So it's just, I don't know. I like exploring in my Zelda games. I don't like feeling like I'm rushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can do the whole time slowing thing, but it's still...
Yeah, it's still not great.
I was in that Snowfall dungeon. Is it dungeon? Temple? Temple?
I'm
whatever.
not sure. I never finished.
Right at the end, I had everything all set up, and then so, out of time, gotta start it all over again. And then, like, spring happened, but then there's a thing I can do to make my sword stronger, but I have to beat that boss again.
Yeah.
Make spring come to the mountain region. And then you gotta do the Goron race again, so you can get the gold dust in the bottle, and then they can bring that to the sword sharpening guy.
Yeah.
There's like this whole rigmarole. You gotta be willing to put that time in. It is a pretty sweet game. I do dig the spooky Ocarina nightmareness of it. How they took everything from Ocarina of Time and just made it all like hardcore.
Yeah.
Like that scene at the start when Link's forced into the Deku mask and they're all like marching towards him and swarming. I was like, ah! It's all spooky and it's got that horrific N64 graphics going. Everything's all like foggy and misty and the frame rate's weird. Like, oh, what's happening? This system is a nightmare.
The aesthetic is awesome. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I love the atmosphere in the game. I just can't stand the gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty neat game. If you're willing to put that time in, I'm at the point now where I beat that snowball thing. So if I do the sword thing, I can do that. But then I gotta get Epona back, and then apparently I gotta go get the Goron bomb and blow up the boulder in the way of the farm, and then something about UFOs and aliens, and then you you get the horse, and then you can jump across a fence. It's all in here. I'm ready to go. I just have to actually want to do it. Just gonna have that extra long washroom break, so I'll have the time. All right, next up, The Killing Joke recently came out. The animated feature based on the Batman graphic novel. Any fans here of The Killing Joke? Not so much. I don't blame you, because I acquired the Killing Joke animated feature, and it's not that good compared to what DC has been doing with their DC animated features as of late. This one definitely a step down. Do you guys care for spoilers at all? I won't spoil anything. There's not much to spoil.
I know all about.
Yeah.
I know what happens in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't read comics.
It's not a whole lot. So it's like they added scenes at the start with Batgirl. She's like, "I'm Batgirl. I'm gonna help and stop the crime." And then some mob guy gets like this weird, like he's attracted to her, but he's screwing with her at the same time. And then they fight, sort of. And then she hooks up with Batman, which is kind of weird. That's kind of a spoiler. I apologize if I just spoiled that for anyone, but it's like Batman and Batgirl, they don't have that kind of relationship. Batman doesn't really have that kind of relationship with anyone, to be fair. Even the lovely Talia al Ghul, even though she did somehow work that magic to create the little shit Damian Wayne. Fuck, I hate Damian Wayne. He's in all the most recent... Anyways, I won't get into that. But the main thing is, I guess, the origin of Oracle and the end of Batgirl. So I guess it's nice that they showed that in one of their animated movies. But then this whole thing about kidnapping Commissioner Gordon, making him lose faith in humanity, and it doesn't really have any effect on him at all. And I don't want to get into it, but the ending is stupid. It literally ends on a joke, and Batman and Joker kind of yucking it up at the end, like they're buddies, and that's... Yeah, I don't know. It felt like a weird fan fiction. It didn't feel like the established Batman lore we all know and love.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I guess the whole Oracle origin is kind of cool, especially for people who played the Arkham games and didn't understand who that was. Mm-hmm. So for that purpose, I guess it was alright. Okay. The game Brothers, A Tale of Two Brothers. I don't remember what the subtitle is. You guys familiar with that one at all?
I've heard of it. I have not played it.
Yeah, I've heard of it too.
Yeah. I believe it was Total Biscuit. He's a big player on the YouTubes. He said it was his game of the year for that year. I was like, oh my god, that guy that hates all those games and that zero punctuation thing. It was his game of the year. I gotta check this thing out. And it took me years, literally, to play it. It's been on the PS3 backlog, but I finally finished it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was fine, I guess. There's a scene where you're in the Arctic and on a boat, and there's like orca whales. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. You know your dual analog sticks with like the two analog sticks. You use one for each brother, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah. You're not missing much if you haven't played it yet. It's fine. It's not a spoiler. If you know any game, any video game, like you know exactly what's going to happen. A game called Brothers, A Tale of Two Brothers, or whatever the fuck it's called, you know exactly what's going to happen near the end of the game. I won't get into it because I don't want to spoil
Someone's gonna die.
I didn't say it.
I don't know. I've never played the game, so.
But you know exactly what's going to happen. Now, there is this cute scene near the end. I will bring this up. It's not a spoiler at all, but there's little bonus things you can do. Like, it's a good game for replayability. Shout out to Adam from Replayability. Because there's little snippets of, like, just slice of life moments between these two brothers. Like, you know, it's cute, like family hanging out. There's a scene at the very start of the game that you can easily miss, but it is also an achievement. Where if you take them down to the beach, you can They skip stones. You know that thing where like flat stones skip it on the water. And I think what the younger brother doesn't quite figure it out at the start. Like he's like, "Oh, this is hard. How do I do this, big brother?" And he's like, cute moment between family members. And I think near the end, the younger brother figures out how to do that. So it's like, "Oh, he did that thing that the other brother did at the start." It's cute moment. But people will miss that if they miss that hidden scene. But the game had its moments. It's an interesting world. There's like giant ogres and there's like a weird cult at one time, and those orcas. Those were kind of cool. It's fine. The whole point is like their dad gets slightly ill or something, so he sends these two brothers on this very dangerous journey across their mystical land to find like magic mana juice so they can save him from his slight cough. And yeah, I don't know, brothers. It's fine, I guess. Anyways, Zootopia. Who's seen that?
Not yet.
No.
Nope.
This is the part of the show where I just get to talk about all the things I've seen lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite section, I think. Zootopia. It's cool. It's one of those those like, hey, you got kids? Go check this movie out. It's for kids, but it's fun for adults too. It's a buddy cop movie. Did you know that? I wasn't sure what it was about at all. It's like this weird world where all the animals are people. And there's like a bunny cop girl who's like, "I'm new to the big city, ain't gonna make a difference." And then they make her a meter maid, and she's like, "This sucks." And then she gets a big scoop, big lead. And with the help of this shifty fox character, which is actually a racial term in this world, they do what they can to make Zootopia a better place. That's fine. It's a pretty good movie. It wasn't great. I don't want the merch for this movie, but it was alright. I appreciated the whole different animals are kind of treated differently in like this kind of weird racial way. Yet still good for kids, I suppose. And I think we can all appreciate the notion of a department of motor vehicles that's run by sloths.
Yeah. That was funny, yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
I saw that in the preview or something.
Yeah. The part when they're like rearing to go, the bunny, Judy Hopps is like, "All right, let's go, we gotta get going." And the fox guy just knows it's gonna take forever and it's gonna kill her, so... He's like, "Oh, by the way, before you give us that printout, I recently heard this hilarious joke," and he goes through the entire joke in front of the sloth, and he does a punchline, and you see the sloth just looking super slothy, and then his face gets all very slowly excited. He doesn't laugh, funny. But it's just, and she's just like, come on. That's cool. Fun scene. Zootopia. It's alright. It's a movie. I borrowed it from my local library. I wouldn't want to have paid to see it, but it's fun. Better than The Killing Joke. Better than Brothers.
Is that Zootopia's already out on DVD?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're old.
Yeah.
You've been in that
There's you can get figures for Disney Infinity if you can find the figures, because that game's not really in service anymore. But yeah, it's cool. Maybe if I can get a little figure. Next one I had up is Little Mermaid. I was tempted to not mention it, but I was thinking I might add one of the songs to the end of the audio version of the podcast, because Little Mermaid has really catchy music.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not mess around with Disney songs.
Had you not seen Little Mermaid before?
Oh, I've seen it. That's why I wanted to see it again, just because of Under the Sea. Under the Sea. That song, man, I got that in my playlist. That was good times.
Oh,
Even Ursula's song. The Poor Unfortunate Soul song. That's a fun song. It's a bit risque, too.
Yeah. Cool. A couple weeks ago, I went on a camping / float trip.
Mm-hmm.
And we met up with this big group of girls that we like run into every year. It's kind of weird. You know, they're all whatever. So I started singing "Look at This Stuff. Isn't it neat?" Wouldn't you say? My collection's complete. And then I just got them all singing it. It was pretty funny. But yeah, I was singing along the whole time because my sister used to watch that movie over and over and over again when she was a kid. So
Disney movies have that effect. Doesn't matter what generation.
Yeah, so I know like all those songs way too well.
No doubt. Lo Burton on Twitter from the And Then She Games blog, I believe, recently mentioned that she was going to rewatch Robin Hood, the Disney animated movie, Man, it's like, remember that whistling song they sing? Do, 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 do. It's like, man, I used to rent that from the Save on Foods, I think. Used to rent that movie several times over.
Yep.
Man, you guys remember renting movies from, like, grocery stores?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Dude, I'd rent games from the grocery store because nobody would think to go there to rent games, so they always had, like, the best selection.
Mm-hmm. That's
Always
great.
had everything. Yeah.
Good times. Good times. I'm just going to check through the chat real quick as I see we had some discussion. And everyone in the chat watching this live, thank you very much for your attendance here. It's great. I'm just going to go through real quick. Replayability. Adam was not a fan of Labyrinth, and that's a very sad thing. He made me very sad. Miss Cuda made a really Harrelson reference that people won't understand unless they've been keeping up with the Twitter discussion, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I hated how they took everything from Ocarina of Time. That's the best part, because that makes it like a spooky nightmare world where it's like everything's weird, but it's different. Brasel likes the horror aspect. Adam likes Zootopia. Kids want to see it. Yeah, you guys definitely should, definitely. The kids will not let you not see it, though, right, Eric? You'll have to watch Zootopia.
We're gonna watch it at some point. That's a given. Yeah.
It's not awful, so look forward to it.
No, and replayability says he loved it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciated the whole detective-y thing. That's why I watched this right here, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. A better detective movie. Very impressive in the whole. We somehow managed to get Warner Brothers characters and Disney characters together. Very cool, that Roger Rabbit movie. Team NT2, I will watch that as well when it comes on a video. I won't pay money to, but I definitely want to see that new Turtles Embe movie. And we'll be mentioning Embe pretty quick. Anything else? If I skip anything and you guys want to bring it up, by all means. Adam rented Doom for the SNES. Very good, very good. It was okay. He just wasn't crazy about it. You do have to have the nostalgia for Labyrinth. Great music as well, though. David Bowie, can't go wrong. Okay. Little Mermaid. Anything else we want to say? Nah, it's good. Little Mermaid, very basic story. It's about like this rich girl who wants to go on a date with a dude, and then her rich dad's like, "You can't do that," and then she's like, "No," and she runs away from home, and then the witch is like, "Oh, I got magic. I'm gonna take your voice, but you don't need it because you get deluxe." So she gets legs and she loses her voice. Then she meets that guy that she saw that one time on that boat. And then it's like, we're going to fall in love somehow. And then they do that Kiss the Girl song.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bit raunchy, too. Dude, it was alright back then. Nowadays, everyone's so walking on eggshells. We had good times back in the day, and everyone survived. Everything went okay. I tell you. And then it ends up becoming like the God of War boss with the Kraken, but it's Ursula. And then they drive a boat into her and then stab. And then I got my power staff back, and yeah, Under the Sea. Cool movie. Good graphics. Good art. Okay, yeah, I have Roger Rabbit on the list. The Boy. You guys heard of this one? It's a horror movie.
No.
That's okay. It stars the that girl from The Walking Dead. She's the one who's...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's not a spoiler because it doesn't really matter in The Walking Dead, but she's pregnant now in the show. But yeah, the one she's like she was... I can't remember the names. It's been so long.
Her name in the show is Maggie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the actress's name is, but I can't think of it.
Yeah. Anyways, The Boy stars Maggie as a babysitter or something like that who goes to the UK because some rich family is looking for a babysitter. And I guess, I don't know how that all sorted itself out, but she goes there, and it turns out that the kid she's going to babysit while these old people are away is a doll. It's not a real person at all, it's just a doll. What? These old people must be crazy. I guess they'll just watch the doll and just yuck it up in this big, intense mansion, spooky Resident Evil mansion. Of course, how else could it not be? But weird things are happening. This doll might be a ghost doll. You don't know. Okay, it's not a spoiler, but this is the best part about this, and this is why you should... I'd recommend The Boy. It's a pretty cool movie. spooky ghost things happen, and you think, oh, it's gonna escalate into that whole everything shit hits the fan moment in every horror movie. But no, she's down with it. She takes care of the boy doll. It's awesome. Like, she's okay with it. It's awesome. And then there's like this love interest, and he's like, oh, so you're looking after the doll, are you? And she's like, yeah. They've got the list of things to do. I've got to feed the doll, clean the doll, change the clothes. And it's like, this is awesome. Where's this movie going to go? And then it takes a turn, and I personally didn't like the turn it takes. There's a twist. I won't spoil it because it would be a spoiler. Things happen. I wasn't a fan of what happened. I had envisioned the movie would end up in a different way that it did. It's an interesting end result. I didn't really like it so much, but neat movie, neat idea. I say check out The Boy. And then I have The Forest. This time starring one of the girls from Game of Thrones. Marcy?
Marjorie Terrell.
Yes, thank you.
Natalie Dormer. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now it's her in a movie. And this time, check this out. So her sister was in Japan teaching English or whatever, and then she goes missing. Japan's like, lol, oh well. And then she's like, what? And she's like, well, she went to this place called the Suicide Forest. And people tend to go there, and they tend to not come back because, well, suicide Japan. And first of all, I have a feeling that if an American living in Japan went missing, it probably wouldn't just be brushed under the rug, you know what I mean? I feel like that would be a bit more of an incident. Anyways, she goes to Japan and figures out where did her sister go, goes into the forest, and, wackiness ensues. It's fine. Cool scenery. Like, they definitely went to Japan. It looks nice. And, yeah, there's really not much to spoil, It's like, there's like zombie ghosts lead this place in the forest, whatever. It's fine. It was not as interesting an idea as The Boy, but The Forest is alright. If you can get it for free, if you can acquire it, it's alright. It's got Marjorie from Game of Thrones, so if you miss her and you want to see more of her, there you go. Okay. And I mentioned Roger Rabbit real quick. Great movie. It's a classic. Check it out. And that's about it. Whew. Alright, everyone. That must mean it's time for our break, so feel free to use the washroom, get something to eat or drink, and we will reconvene in a few minutes. And I'm going to add, for anyone listening to this on the audio form, an amusing Pokemon Go skit I found. So I'm going to look forward to adding that to this. Otherwise, we'll be back in a moment with the Nintendo Watch. Okay, so I'm going to stop this recording, but for anyone watching live, we're going to keep this going, so feel free to keep using the chat, and we will all be back in a few minutes. There you go. Okay, so my audio recording has stopped. Brasel, Eric, and anyone watching live, feel free. Does anyone need to use the washroom or get a drink or anything?
Yeah, I think I can get up for a second.
Yeah, by all means. This is the opportunity. Adam had the name in the chat. It's all good. Should I turn the light on? I don't want to. Am I coming in real dark?
You're not, no.
Alright, cool.
Not that I can tell.
Yeah, no, that's good. We got, it's fine.
Lauren Cohen, that's right.
Yeah. Alright, we'll drop that name in the start of the other thing. This sound clip. Actually, I'm going to play it. Let me know if you can hear this. Hopefully this won't crash everything. Can you hear that?
Very faintly.
But you might have just heard it through my own headset. People, if you're watching in the chat, let me know if you can hear this. You might be able to.
This guy shows up and he starts calling me by the wrong names. I don't know, just on purpose to patronize me, making fun of me. I don't know what his deal was. He called Bulbasaur. That's onion turtle. Geodude. Punchy rock. Meow. That cat with the long ass arms. Ekans. Purple shit. He called Piglet. That's floor shit right there. And Doug Trio. That's 3 floor shits. He knew Pikachu. Everybody knows Pikachu.
Oh, yeah, that's Pikachu right there.
He called Weepin' Bell.
Oh, that's almost a pair.
Weedle.
Party Wiener.
Beedrill.
Everybody know that's Big Dick B.
Bees don't even have
Dick B.
I'm just gonna add that for my little interlude. Everybody knows that Big Dick B. I love it.
I'll leave it up for a second. I need to get a water.
Sure. Okay, cool.
I'm overly tired as well.
It's freaking hot. Oh, I can open my windows now at least. They're open, but I have the curtains because of sun. All right, everyone. Stream will keep going. I'm just gonna stretch my legs first. I'll be right back. Everybody knows.
Oh, shit, I'm tired.
Uh-oh. Oh, God.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
How's it going? I got an iced tea.
I'm probably gonna need to pee too, so oh well.
There's still time. I don't think is Eric.
Okay.
Eric's on.
Alright.
Nope, he's here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Let me go take this real quick, sorry.
Okay. Get to Crinklies. How's the chat doing? We'll mention anything further. Titanfall 2. I have not. I want to believe in that game, but I don't think they focused on the mechs all that much. Seems like it's just mech sidekick, occasional mech usage, but it's not a mech game. It's just a Call of Duty with robots.
Yeah. I bought the first one, but never played much of it.
Yeah. Well, Xbox only, multiplayer only. It's like the demo for this Titanfall 2. It doesn't sound like a complete game to me. Is Hawken done? It's a game I've heard before on Steam. I don't think they've finished it though. That's one of them robot games. Hawken.
Okay.
No idea.
Free to play. Maybe it's done. Everything. I hate early access. Yeah, early access game. Finish your game already. Why is there DLC to buy and the game's not even done yet? Looks cool though. Whatever it is. Hacking. Lost Planet. You guys ever play that?
I've heard of it. Lost Planet.
I think I have all 3 of them on the PS3. They're all in the Infinite Backlog, but I think
Yeah.
there's robots in that one.
I didn't
Is
like
there-
it. Yeah, I didn't like it. The presentation was all wonky. Like it was just the presentation seemed like really arcadey for some reason, and I just didn't really care for it.
I need more mech games. I've got. You'd think I'd be playing the Transformers game. I've got the second one. Eric, I've got in my next gamer hall the Deep Clearances, which is almost a year in the making.
Yeah.
The next Transformers game is in there, so I've left that stuff in the bags for literally almost a year since that super sale.
The Devastation game?
Not
Or
that
do you
one.
mean the older War of Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron?
Yeah, Fall of
Yeah.
Cybertron.
I have both of those, and I've never played either one.
I finished the first one. It was.
Did you?
It was. The gameplay was just fine. Like if you like Transformers, you'll dig it. But if you don't, it was just it's fine. You know. Like it lacks soul. Problem with Cybertron is it's all just robot buildings. You know.
Yeah.
The soul still burns.
No, it doesn't. That's the problem. It's just factory, different looking factory, sewer factory, piston moving factory. I don't know. Too metal. Not cool in a metal way, but just too metallic. Anyways, everyone back. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear that noise right now? There's water pipes. Can you hear that?
No.
Not at the moment, no.
Alright, good. Alright. I'm going to start recording for audio purposes. There we go. And the stream never stopped. So... And we're back! I just played a cute little Pokemon Go skit thing there. I love that. It's funny. It cracks me up. Alright, so we're back, and it is now time for the Nintendo Watch, I believe. Actually, before we do that, what was going on in the chat? We were talking a bit about Titanfall 2. There's like this open beta thing going on. I want to believe in that game, but I think it's going to just be another Call of Duty style game with occasional robots. I don't think the robots are really that much of a focus, unfortunately. Oh well. All for the best. And we also had Adam claiming that Lauren Cohen was the name. Was that the one from... That's Walking Dead, right?
Yes.
Lauren. Okay. Cool. So that was the one in The Boy. And not The Forest. Okay. Nintendo Watch. That time in the show when we take a look at that most wacky and mysterious of companies, Nintendo, and say, hey, what are they up to this time? I'll tell you what they're up to. They're up to shutting shit down. Okay, so here's the thing. I think we all know, all the people of the internet, we know by now that if you use a name like, I don't know, Metroid or Pokemon, then the people who actually own those names aren't going to be big fans of it.
Nope.
So were you guys at all surprised that that Metroid 2 remake thing was like cease and desisted? And the same with the Pokemon Uranium? Like, does this surprise anyone at all?
No, but I also have to clarify that AAM2R was actually never got a cease and desist. It was just they got the copyright notices for a couple links, so he decided to take it down. So he, to not further provoke Nintendo. So it was. I'm not sure about Pokemon. I just know that AM2R never actually got a cease and desist.
Okay.
Can I ask? Did the AM2R? You said copyright. What was? Did he use their code? Did he use their base?
No.
Code?
It was. Let me see. Yeah, it got a.
Was it like trademark infringement? Because he didn't even use the Metroid name, right?
Not trademark infringement, because
DMCA notices.
Yes, the DMCA notices. That's what it got. To the websites hosting it, but it was never cease and desisted or anything.
I wonder what I don't know the law very well. I'm trying to understand what exactly he didn't use their name. He didn't use their code. What are they claiming he copied?
The character and the characters and the stuff.
Okay.
And he
so
used I mean, if you look at the game, and I'm not 100% sure of this. I mean, it looks like he used assets from like the Game Boy Advance versions. I don't know if that's
yeah. Okay, that would do. I mean, that would do it too, right?
And
yeah,
even
okay.
and even then, I mean, if you're using characters and you know characters and themes and everything from the game, and it's like very obviously Metroid. You know, it's very
Yeah.
obviously Samus and all that kind of stuff. And it's actually, you know, he's actually remaking a game that they had, you know, previously. Yeah, it's totally you know within Nintendo's rights to send them, you know, legal notices.
Well, I guess I'll expose my ignorance here. If I hear a song
Mm-hmm.
and I recreate that song
Mm-hmm.
with my own assets, with my
Mhm.
own reverse engineering of the song, I can recreate it, and it's obviously the same melody. Is that subject to the same thing?
Yeah, yes, it can be. That would almost be plagiarism. It's just you're not, you know, you may not be doing using the exact same instruments they did or anything like that. But I mean, if you are obviously copying a song, and it's the same thing with a video game, really. But if you're like just straight up copying the song and you're trying to pass it off as your own, yeah, that's plagiarism.
Well, he didn't try to pass this off, though, right? I mean, he
yes. I mean, once Nintendo issued the DMCA notice, he was just like, okay, I'm just gonna put this on the private. He was not salty about it at all. He put a notice on his website saying, you know, it's full well within Nintendo's rights to do this. You know, the thing is, this thing's been in production forever. And it just got big enough because he finally released a version of it, and it just got big online. Nintendo was like, "Oh, hey, this is our property, not yours."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
It's on par with the course, as they say.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not surprised, and it does kind of suck that they don't turn a blind eye to it, but you know, they did have a Metroid game that they were, you know. A Metroid game. I don't, a lot of people are mad about Federation.
Game in the Metroid franchise out today, by the way.
Yep, they're releasing it very closely to this, so it was just like, hey, here's a competing product with the same name, and this is the stuff that the fans actually want. So we don't want money. We don't want to miss out on money because somebody else is making another, a copycat product. So. It sucks, but that's just the way business works.
Had him in the chat says there was no game released today. He also mentioned earlier that there's a lot of zero mission assets in this.
Yeah, and I completely agree with Adams. At least hire the guy. Yeah. Or take the game and release it like Capcom did with Mega Man vs. Street Fighter.
This is Nintendo, though. Definitely one of the oldest of old gods.
Yeah.
They just don't want... Like, it's not that big a deal. I feel even for Nintendo, like, they did what they had to do. Like, the legal department would be bugging them. They didn't, because everyone knows it's big on Kotaku and all that.
Yeah.
If it was never as popular as it was, they probably wouldn't have cared. I'm sure there's tons of fake Metroid games all over the place.
Yeah.
But this is the one that just got popular. And, I mean, it looks great. And I'm sure Nintendo notices that, and they're like, well... Maybe a little too good. We don't want people showing us up at our own game here. Literally our own game, so I'm not surprised. What I don't understand, though, is why they don't just make their own, like, Betroid. Betroid Prim for the PC. Just put that sumbitch on Steam. Like, we got Axiom Verge and Ghost Song. Like, these are games that could have easily been a fake Metroid, but they did the smart thing, and they... made their own unique characters. It's obviously a Metroid-inspired game, but it's not Metroid, and you can charge money for that. This guy just, like, what can he do with it now? Like, it's cool. Well, it's like a resume, I guess. Maybe someone will give him a job. But...
He had started it just as, like, a fan thing. Like, it was, like, 10 years ago or something like that.
Well, he had just started That's a long time.
Yeah. I want to say that
briefly
was, like, 10 years ago. I could be wrong that it was 10 years ago, but I mean he started it as like a way to learn how to program, Just like, oh, I like Metroid 2. I'm gonna try to remake it and learn some programming along the way. And the stuff that he learned, like he said on his website, the stuff that he learned while working on this project was able to get him a job, like a career in programming. So for him, it's just it wasn't ever supposed to be like one of those projects that he was going to put live and try to make money off of or anything like that. And I kind of get that. I'm actually working on a Zelda fan game. I'm going to start working on it again. I found all my files for it. I had completely lost everything, and I thought it was all gone, but I found it last night randomly and streamed it.
Yeah, so
but I'm going to work
get
on
the boomerang.
Yeah, and I'm going to work on that again. And I have no, that's not for like a fame thing or a notoriety thing or anything, like that. It's just for me, and I'll provide it to other people if they want it. And if I get, it's not going to happen because it won't be big enough. But if I were to get a DMCA notice on it, I'd take it down. But
yeah, it's to be expected.
I
just feel it's just a shame. Like, just don't rip off the map in the Metroids and just make your own thing. You're so close. You could still do it.
Yeah.
Draw your own damn assets. I'm mad for Nintendo. And I'm mad for him because, man, that's like, it's all there, right?
Yeah.
Everyone liked this game, so it's just so close. Just change a few things here and there and just put that sumbitch on Steam. Make a few bucks. Why not? Dare I say, why not? MGO reference. We got the Pokemon Uranium. I've heard good things there about that. Once again, your Pokemon, but we're Pokemon people, gotta shut her down, or whatever, cease to desist, DMCA, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that one.
It's the same thing. Just make your own, make Pokepond. Done. Put her up. There were tons of Pokeponds back in the Game Boy days, remember? And it was like a robot one, and Demi Kids, and anyways, Invisimals, and so, hey, just make your own. It's okay if it's a ripoff. It's still something you make money off. I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna put that much of your time, like you say, 10 years.
Yeah, I think I don't know that for sure.
Maybe these people don't need to worry about money. They do not have money problems. I don't know. I don't even care. It's just if you want your shit to be appreciated, make it legal. The Nintendo Power one, though, that's kind of interesting. Someone had uploaded old Nintendo Power scans to archive.org, something like that, and then Nintendo shut those down too.
Yep.
Now, there's been a theory that with the new Nintendo Mini, whatever we're calling it, coming out, that there was supposedly a Prima guide that was going to borrow... Have you guys heard of this? Something like the guide was going to have like literally pages out of Nintendo Power?
I had heard about that. I have not seen anything on it personally. But yeah. Also,
a bit more interesting because that's nothing new, but I don't know. It feels like it would be older licenses, something they wouldn't even care about. But I don't know. Once again.
Well, also, Nintendo is licensing out some of the comic books that were found in Nintendo Power. Super Mario Adventures. They did the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past one a couple years ago. Then they still have, and I'm hoping they release it. There's a Super Metroid one and a Star Fox one. I really want to get the Super Metroid one. But yeah, so those are. So there's another reason right there, because if everybody had free access to those comics online, and they released this new comic, which it should be out in like October or something like that. And nobody's, they're worried nobody will buy it because they can just read it online on the free comic or free Nintendo Power Archive.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if they do that, if I can go to EB Games and get both the Nintendo Mini and a Prima guide made up of like random snippets, I'm sure I'll buy the guide. I want that. I want that like I want the Nintendo Mini. That sounds cool. And I honestly didn't even care that they have old Nintendo Powers up. It's cool that they did that. Oh well, whatever. These are stupid stories, but there really wasn't much else to talk about as far as Nintendo. I don't know, just make your own game. That's all I want out of these people. Make that money, son. You know what I'm saying? Anything else from Nintendo Watch? I don't think there is. We got Pokemon that's almost out. Pokemon Go still goes strong. Weird updates people are complaining about. That's the internet. People complain about everything. There's a weird Pokemon ring bracelet thing that will be sold with the next Pokemon game, and I pre-ordered it for some reason because I figured, hey, maybe that'll be like worth something at Christmas time or something. I don't know. Maybe cool. It looks really stupid. It's like this white plastic thing, and it's got these crystals, and somehow it interacts with the next Pokemon game. I don't understand. But
Yeah.
who knows? Might be the next hot item. Maybe it'll be worth like $200 to some random parent who just doesn't give a fuck and just throws money around. Anyways, all right, are we ready to shut this down? We got some more Pokemon released, new footage. Who cares? Whatever. Get that funny palm tree Pokemon. That guy's cool. I want to team all palm tree Pokemons. Okay, shutting her down. Main topic time. We're gonna talk about some toys, past and present.
Excellent.
Brasel has a whole bin of toys, and Eric, I believe, also dug. What did you find, Eric? I don't know if I saw it. I'm gonna go over to the camera here.
I don't know. I got my old box of. Do you want to lift it up for the camera? Here, how about if I do this? I just got my old box of
We will describe what we
Transformers.
see for the listeners, but anyone watching this live,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
see.
So,
Okay.
here. So I got my Constructicons. I got some Triple Changers, Dinobots, and I got this re-release of Optimus Prime.
Ooh.
Back from 2003. That's like a reissue of the original model.
Okay.
I don't know. Just these are my Transformers. These are like the only toys I kept from my childhood because Transformers was probably the toy I was into the most.
Mm-hmm.
Got out of it about the time of the Headmasters and Target Masters because I thought they were dumb.
Yeah, they are dead, but they're back.
They're back. Yeah, I know. And maybe also because the cartoon series kind of ended abruptly and that was like a 30-minute commercial, you know. So after not getting bombarded with that 5 days a week, I kind of got out of it. But I kept all my G1 stuff. Yeah, big Transformers back. I used to have a bunch of the combiners. I didn't know they were called that at the time, but we ended up selling all of those off. But I kept my first the ones I thought were cool. So they're all, and I got Metroplex in there too, the boxed Metroplex.
Very nice. I like that Metroplex. He's good people.
Yeah.
Just a quick shout out to the live viewers. We have Dean has joined us from the Round 2 Gaming channel. They're talking about Barrie Game Exchange. That's out in Ontario. That's not close to here. Okay, so he says 17 games and a Prima guide, all first-party NES games. That's cool. And Aussie asked if I bought the Transformers mystery box I found today, and no, I did not. They're kind of stupid and expensive, like $7. I could put that towards actual Transformers. And Yoshi Knuckles has joined the chat, who of course has been on the show before. Everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. Okay. So Eric was talking Transformers, and we certainly will be because, as anyone who knows that has access to my Twitter feed, or my YouTube channel, actually, I've been going pretty hard on the Transformers lately. Maybe I just have too many games, but I just haven't been in the mood for games lately. I'll play a few staple things like Team Fortress 2 or like Majora's Mask, whatever, if I'm in the washroom or something. But it's been pretty calm as far as games. There was like that Wii U Star Fox game. They had a demo come out, and I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to try this out. I haven't tried it out. I was going to stream it. I haven't streamed in ages. I'll tell you what has been interesting me lately is toys. These things are awesome. I don't know why. It's just like, look at this thing. Look at that. You see that? It's a dragon. That's from Monster Hunter, but it's like it transforms into a cube. He's awesome.
Really?
Yeah. I was gonna do a video on that at some point. He's really hard to transform though, so I don't wanna do much with him. But he looks cool on the table. Yeah, I've really been digging toys. Unfortunately, like I was saying, if I'm not doing game stuff lately. Also, PS4 is super expensive, so if I don't have these new games at my disposal, then it's easier to ignore the systems, I find. Just the new hype, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
Even like Pokemon Go, my phone's too old. I can't play that either, unfortunately. But I'll tell you what I can do though is I can buy this here alligator toy for like $10 or $15, whatever it is. He turns into a little robot man. That's awesome. Anyone that's listened to the Hypecast recently knows we did not one but 2 episodes on the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that's all about the robots. Like I got a couple Eva robots on my desk right here. The difference though is we in North America don't exactly get access to a lot of these mechs. What we do have access to, assuming they're actually in stock, Toys R Us, Walmart, is Transformers. If you think about it, they're the only robots we have access to around here. It's kind of a shame because, I don't know, maybe no one wants to compete with Transformers, but nevertheless, a lot of lore in that Transformers world. And the toys, even though they are definitely getting flimsier and you can see where they're cutting costs, a lot less paint, I'm still having quite a fun time working up this new collection of transformable robots.
Yeah, that sucks about new toys, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm never compelled to like go and look at. Well, I'm always compelled to look at stuff, but I'm never compelled to like buy anything because it's always, you know, the new stuff. Like I look at the new Ninja Turtle toys, for instance, for the new show, and they just look junky, you know, and it's just like I don't really want to buy this because it doesn't look, you know, nearly as detailed or as charming or as sturdy as the old stuff. So. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about these new Titans line of Transformers? They look pretty good. What's the build quality like on those?
It once again it depends on if you're getting the smaller ones. Now I've been feeling while we've been talking with this shiny character here. This is what they call the Titan Master. Should I turn a light on? Can you see that?
You can see it.
Like that's a really small robot man. You turn his arms down, and you put his feet up, and then you turn around and look. He's a little robot head. Yeah, now you can put that head on on a robot. It's stupid, but it's fun. You buy these things separately. It's like almost $10. It comes with a little vehicle, like a little vehicle, and that vehicle can transform into a gun for the bigger robot. It's fun. Now sitting here next to me, I've got what is this? Titans Return Leader Class Autobot Apex and Power Master Optimus Prime. That's a pretty big toy right there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, he still has lots of gaps and holes. You can see, once again, the cost cutting. I'll probably do a video on this at some point for the YouTube channel, but you probably can't see it here, but you can see arms where there should be like a complete, you know, completely covered. There's usually gaps where they don't want to put plastic because they can save money by not putting plastic in. Actually, like here's an example once again for anyone watching live. I'm holding up a robot, and you can see in the back of the legs, there's empty space.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's stupid.
They could have filled it in. Said, hey, we can save a few bucks for the company by just leaving it empty and open. So it's fine if you have it standing there looking up in front of you, but you know that depending on the toy you bought, there's definitely cost cutting going on, unfortunately. And the prices do not reflect that because, at least speaking on behalf of Canada, these things are still pretty darn expensive.
That's so stupid. That's so sad.
Sign of the times, I guess.
Toys would be awesome.
Yeah, because we mentioned the G1 or Generation 1 Transformers. Now some of them had die-cast metal parts.
Yep.
I have a Dinobot who's in pieces, unfortunately. I bought him used from Value Village, but his main chunk is there, and that's metal. That's a hefty. You feel the weight. You feel the quality.
Like this guy here.
Wait, he's showing it. Hold on.
I'm showing Snarl, who's got a big red chest piece, which is all metal.
Yeah.
And it's a substantial thing there. Yeah, I think a lot of the Dinobots had metal components, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. I think that's the one I have. Except mine is broken. I could still probably get a few bucks for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You feel the difference. Like if you hold that up versus like this, and you can just.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Yeah.
You can just hear the cheap plastic. Things like tires on your car that turned into a robot and being made of rubber versus it just being a plastic now.
Mm-hmm.
Like details in the paint versus just like it's 2 colors on the new toy.
That's too bad. I thought I was kind of hoping those Titans were a little bit nicer, but I guess maybe you got to go to the.
They're not bad though. Like obviously, I'm playing with them. I bought all of these things around me. Like I've got Optimus. He still looks cool. That's the thing. It's like they know. Like I've talked with people around my age in toy stores recently because we're all looking for these new guys. Because this Soul Smasher Crusher guy, this alligator dude, they remind us of the original toy that we grew up with.
Yep.
And like this design is for us. It's not for kids. Kids don't. Do kids play with toys? Do they care so much anymore, or are they all just about the apps and the smartphones and the smartphones?
My kids are playing on their apps, their tablets. Yeah.
So I think like that's the ironic thing is like if we are the ones that they're making these for, really, the problem is that we're the ones that remember how they used to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, it's really fun because on this here alligator I'm holding up, if you pull this little panel up on his back, there's a space there, and you can put those head nests right in there. It's pretty cool. There's a little seat.
Yeah.
He holds the tiny head robot guy in him. It's cool.
So do you have to have one of those head robots? Does that thing have its own head, or do you have to have one of those things?
The head of that guy only exists as this tiny little, like, finger-sized guy.
But it does come with one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can buy further heads that have no bodies.
That's weird. That's okay. Yeah. You
Isn't
said
that,
it was kind of neat. It's bizarre, but
I know. But if you don't like the look of the head that comes with the guy, like I'm holding up to the camera here. There's a tiny little like hover car. Uh-oh, we got mini Q-Dogs.
Yeah, they're going to bed. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's what it comes with, just a little vehicle and a guy that transforms into a head?
One of them, actually this one I've been fiddling around with, he comes with one half of a dinosaur, so if you put them together, he makes a tiny little T-Rex.
Okay.
And it's actually really cool, but the problem there is that you'll never want to take him out of the T-Rex. So you make this other goofy pose, which is like this weird dragon thing that looks questionable. It looks a lot cooler as a T-Rex.
T-Rex, yeah.
You know, that's cool.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, like these two things, I'm now holding up to my camera: the Titans Return Leader Class, Twin Cast, and Autobot Blaster. And this guy looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, he does look pretty good.
Best thing about this is that I actually got it from Walmart, and I think the price on it was set to the last season of toys because this was only $40. I say only. I mean, that's still a lot of money, but I'm at this point now in this collecting where I'm like, $40? Sold. Now,
yeah.
like a year ago, I wouldn't have bought any of this stuff. It wouldn't have mattered, but now my attentions have shifted, and now I'm looking at video game stuff, and it's like No Man's Sky was like $90 after tax. Fuck that.
I'm sorry, Canada.
Yeah, it sucks,
man.
That's why I was so happy. These were the last two of this size at Walmart that day, and they were just one of each there. I don't know why. I feel like someone maybe returned them, but I was like, oh, that's cool. So just for fun, I decided to check the price on them, and they were priced at exactly $40, not $39.99, not $59.99 like I think they are at Toys R Us, but $40. So I'm thinking maybe it was the old price for last year's toys that they were on clearance. And I was like, oh, it's good. Taking those.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring it up. I'm just going to buy them and leave. But yeah, good stuff. Brasel, what are you feeling with it?
I'm sorry, am I making noise?
No, I'm just seeing you.
No, I don't know anything about Transformers.
That's okay.
I was actually just pulling out, like, fucking, I got all these
Mega Man,
these Ruby Spears Mega Man toys. I've got almost the whole line except for Elec-Man. I don't have Elec-Man, but and the Mega Man one has been in the people. If you watch any of my videos, it's in the background all the time. We've got Proto Man. So
is that from Super Fighting Robot Mega Man?
Yep, this is from the Super Fighting Robot Mega Man show. I bought them, awesome. I got these, and I got like a bunch of little miniature ones too. They're really.
I never liked Cutman's ears.
They're really good quality figures too.
I know.
And I played with these, and I was a little old to be playing with them, but I was playing with them anyway. I didn't care.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like, man, finally Mega Man toys,
Mm-hmm.
So I played with those a lot,
Oh, it's Rush.
Oh, that's
Rush.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
keep
then,
going
like
there.
Bright Man. Yeah, and I've got Mega Man back there, but I think everybody's seen that. If you haven't, it's not that big a deal.
Yep.
But yeah, and I got like some Final Fantasy VIII figures too, and yeah, those are my really super geeky ones. And I've got like a whole box of freaking Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. And
Well, speaking of quality, if you import like Japan, like they take figures and such really seriously.
yeah,
And I'll bring it up, but like this Fiery Dragon guy I have on my desk here, he's a third-party guy, and that's this thing, is that there's this new growing culture, not unlike video games, where this indie groups are coming together and like, hey, remember those things we used to love back in the day? They kind of suck now, though, but we can get our people together and make things ourselves. So now you can get toys that are basically Transformers. Like you see it and it's like that's a Constructicon, but it's not, because once again, kind of like what we were talking before with the Metroid thing, is that they changed it just enough so they could sell it and make a really cool toy, and not have to worry about. I'm gonna go on presentation here. Like, look at this. Look at the size of this guy.
yeah.
That is pretty hot. Big Constructicon guy, big bulldozer bucket thing. And this guy, like, he doesn't. I don't think he has any die cast, but his tires are made of rubber. That's more than you get from most Hasbro stuff these days. He's got the light piping. That's where, and if you get the light coming down to his head, his eyes light up. That's awesome.
No,
They don't do that on Transformers anymore. It's just cutting costs. But
Well, how old is that figure?
this is pretty recent. The downside with these things is that they cost a lot more. This was like over $100 for this one toy.
That one? Do you have all of them?
No. This I like this. This is a really cool toy, but over $100 for one thing. It's not even that big. I mean, I was more curious. I just wanted to see at least one in person. So I was like, yeah, and then I bought it.
Because that would make a big devastator.
Yeah.
That thing would be enormous. Yeah.
But I'd be lying if I, I'm a bit tempted, but
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I'm
But,
tempted.
right now, I'm currently going through a phase where I'm buying old, not too old, maybe a decade old. Like, I got this Unicron character here who I mentioned in the show before, and like, this is a big toy.
Yeah.
This one, unfortunately, is incomplete. It's missing a few parts, but I just wanted to see it just to feel the scope of it. And like, once again, the quality, the differences, you can definitely notice them. Very cool, though. I've definitely been enjoying this new/old hobby. Alright. Okay, what you got this time, Brasel? Is that a Star Wars toy?
Oh yeah. I'm just throwing some in there. Got a.
Oh, I've been
Some, like,
presenting
little-
all wrong. You're presenting now, aren't you?
I don't know. Did you do that?
I think he's presenting it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't mean to do that.
No, I did that. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I got like little freaking
We're
tires
using Google
there.
Hands.
And they've got these are really cool.
Hmm.
These are the ones I had. I've had these as a kid. And I don't collect toys now. I'm not a toy guy these days. I like some of my the stuff that I had growing up, and I'll put those on display. But I don't buy much stuff. I got a couple Funkos, and
Yeah.
the Amiibo and stuff. But I don't really buy stuff now.
Mhm.
But some of these are really fucking good quality too.
Yeah. I mean, to be
These are
fair, like,
really
they all have gaps in spots.
Yeah.
Some are just more obvious than others, unfortunately.
Yeah. We got the freaking AT-AT. These were really cool. And this one, man, and it just kills me that I cannot find the two blaster parts
He's taking some
for this
Yeah.
X-wing, because I want this on display up in my room, because I freaking love, I'm a big Star Wars guy, and I love the X-wing.
Yeah.
And I can find these other ones because this is a cool looking toy.
Mhm.
And that's awesome. And these were 90s, Star Wars things. They've got they were pretty common, but I really liked them. I thought they were cool.
Yeah. It's just fun to have the things you like in your home with you.
Yeah.
Once the technology is off, it's still there. It's still
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Assuming it doesn't break.
Yeah. And this is all like ancient, it's been around for years, or I've had it for years. So a lot of this stuff is like falling apart. It's not in good shape because I played with it so much as a kid. You know.
Well loved.
Yep.
There we go. Alrighty. I'm just fiddling with the Google Hangouts here. What do we got in the chat here? Yoshi wants to make toys. You should. That'd be good. Adam brings up a good point in the chat, how everyone's parents would often give toys away.
Yeah.
It's just a part of growing up.
Yep.
But now, we can be adults, quote unquote, and just buy new toys.
Yeah, what was it? The
Batman
you see,
stuff.
Adam mentioned Batman, and I had like the whole line of the Batman figures, action figures. I didn't have like the big sets for it, but I did have like the Batman Returns Batmobile that like split off, like the sides split off like it did in the movie, and it would just be like the little missile thing. And it was like a high quality freaking toy. I don't know what happened to it. It sucks because it was really cool.
Yeah.
Stuff just goes. I mean, that's like, I'm no parent, but I guess you want the kids to grow up and get rid of that stuff. But then that nostalgia comes back to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, those things I had, I want them back, but now they're gone.
Yeah.
Is that a Turtles helicopter?
This is a Turtles helicopter.
That's fun.
And it's like in really bad shape. I've got all the parts for it in the basement, but it's such a pain. It was even like as a kid, it was a pain in the ass to put together.
Yeah, parts always go missing.
Yeah.
There's a Transformers book I actually ordered in pretty recently. Once again, I was going to do a video of that. And one of the things that focuses on are easily lost accessories. So there's always this little section next to each store that says, this came with it, but it's going to be hard to find these.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch. It's definitely true. Actually, Melissa in the chat there, she said that they're actually going to go play some Stop Thief.
Yeah.
Which, on our show planner here, we have a list of board games we thought might be fun to bring up. And that's actually the last one we wrote in, although none of us have actually really played this. So I have the board game, but I haven't really looked at it yet. Infinite Backlog. But it looked really neat. So when I was still trying to find my new niche, like in town here, it's just so tough to find any games out in the wild now. That's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped just dealing with the whole scene. It's just, just not what it used to be. It's not. It's like I was the cool hipster kid, and now it's all mainstream, and I want to move on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, board games. Let's just talk some board games for a bit. First one I put, of course, the king of board games, Fireball Island. I had that.
I did too.
I remember.
Yeah, we did too.
Unfortunately, I was at when I was kicked out, I had to do the shared accommodation thing at these random people's homes, and I tried to keep my stuff as long as I could, but eventually I was just renting a room out, and some of my stuff was actually pouring out into the hall. And those guys that I was living with just decided to do a yard sale one day, and then they just sold a bunch of my stuff.
Oh,
That's
so
always fun. So goodbye Fireball Island and Crash Canyon. But
Sucks.
an amazing board game. I would recommend anyone watching or listening to look up Fireball Island if you have not seen it already. It is a 3D board. Amazing. Like, at the center there's this idol, and the board is kind of like, it's like a tower going up, and the top, the middle of the board is the highest point, and that's where the idol sits. And if you pull the wrong card, you're supposed to knock a red marble out of the idol's mouth, which would be like the idol spitting out a fireball from like a volcano. Like, a bit of imagination, but it's super cool. And then this marble now travels its way down this 3D board, and if your player character is in the way, then you get knocked back a bunch of spaces. It's super cool. A wee bit like Snakes and Ladders, I suppose.
Yep.
But man, just you got that thing, just imagination set to overdrive.
Yeah.
And
That was an awesome game.
it's so cool. Unfortunately, they did remake it, but it is not Fireball Island.
Really?
Feel free to
look.
Yeah, feel free to look up on Google ever Fireball Island, and you might see just a travesty of the original. I'm gonna do that right now. This is live, people. Fireball. Oops, I put islands.
I don't know that I want to. Make me sad.
So you look it up, you see the board as it should be. Pretty hype. Is there a Fireball Island Roller coaster? Anyways, he keeps scrolling down. I'm sure eventually you'll see the new one. Maybe if you type in Fireball Island. But yeah, I would recommend, if anyone has no idea what I'm talking about, to definitely look this thing up. I just want to find this new one now. Actually, I'm not seeing it. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe society has learned from its ways and has blocked new Fireball Island from the face of the earth. But yeah, you can see all the pieces. Like, there's 4-player characters. They're all 3D. Everything's 3D. You're trying to get this gem at the top of the island. Super cool. Crash Canyon had a similar idea, except instead of player characters, you're playing as 4 micro machines. And similar idea where they were using gravity, but this time it was like kind of like what is that off-road game on the Super Nintendo? Super Off-Road, I guess.
Super Off-Road, yeah.
I think Super Off-Road was actually on the NES.
Yeah, that too. But it's like that, but in board game form, and it's as awesome as it sounds. Crash Canyon. What else we got on our list here? Zoop. Hero Quest and Dark World. God,
I played so much Hero Quest.
so good.
I had all the expansion packs to it too.
Hmm.
That game was so fun. I wish I still had it because I'd like to play it again.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Dark World as well?
No.
Once again, just look it up. Same idea as Hero Quest, but it kind of had a bit of the 3D-ness of Fireball Island. A lot of like doors and walls. Actually, it had walls, while Hero Quest did not. These two games are kind of like Dungeons and Dragons sort of style, where there's like pieces walking through dungeons, but they would come with these books, and you would follow the book and make each chapter out of a main piece of the board. Like the board would have like rooms, but then you would add doors in the 3D. Each door was like a 3D piece. Super cool. Kind of hard to describe. Once again, yeah, definitely look it up. And Dark World was like that, but it had more 3D parts. So while Hero Quest only had like doors, Dark World had walls to go with the doors. Once again, just super cool products. So I just looked up Dark World on Google, and there's actually 3 of them. Dark World Dragon's Gate, Dark World Village of Fear, and just Dark World. But man, just look at the box art of these things. That is hardcore. Yeah, damn. Too cool, too cool. We're getting deep in the nostalgia here. Like, the 3D pieces, like, these board games, they still kind of make them, but they're not the same. And they're probably a lot more expensive now, too.
Oh, man, this does look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, there was a Board Games episode on this, wasn't there?
Might have been.
Yeah, I think there was.
He's covered some good stuff. That's for sure. I know he did the Omega Virus, and although I have no nostalgic value for that, I actually found one, and I'm pretty sure it's complete, which is amazing. I found one at Valley Village.
Yeah.
Definitely bought that. That one.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
It looks elaborate.
Yes, it is. Yeah, like once we played it a lot as kids, we got it, and once we figured it out, we really got into it. You know, those little weird electronic board game things were always really neat. And you guys said you had never heard of Mall Madness, and it was kind of like the same thing, but it actually had like had
credit card thing, right?
Yeah, it had the credit card thing, and it was actually like a 3D board almost. If I remember correctly. I actually have it in my back room. I should have pulled it out, but I didn't even think to. But yeah, it's got it's like got 2 tiers to it and everything, and it was actually kind of fun. You just go around and try to pick up everything. You just have to hit all the stores and buy everything, and you have to have the money for it and everything. Yeah, so it was a fun game.
Play that game every day after work.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Q-Dog in the chat says, Stuff Thief is a detective game with an electronic device. You use the device on your turn to get clues to how the robber moves across the board. Interesting. Sounds a bit like Clue, which had a movie, which is kind of neat. Oh, she keeps going. You move across the board, getting closer to the robber. Once you're next to him, you make an arrest. Nice. That's fun. They still do these kind of board games, but like I said, they're really expensive. Did you see there's a Mega Man board game?
I think Adam from Replayability, I think he picked it up, and he said it was like complicated as hell or something.
Yeah, probably. There's a Doom board game. That's new. weird.
That might have been a different board game actually that he picked up. I don't remember. I remember hearing about the Mega Man one, but I hadn't seen it. I hadn't played it or anything yet.
I know there's Ghostbusters as a board game. I've seen that for sale
Yeah.
at HMV, which is kind of an interesting spot to find it. Okay, you type in his location and it'll tell you if you've won, lost, or if you've ran away. That's fun. Stop Thief reminds me a wee bit of Carmen Sandiego. What's going on with board games nowadays? It's just the same game over again, except with like a wallpaper. It's like Game of Thrones Monopoly. Just what
Yeah.
you always
Yeah.
wanted. The
Yeah.
Walking Dead Risk. It's weird. Why? I did not want this. I don't know. I don't know. It's like with movies these days. They're all just rehashing things that you liked, but they make it wrong and different. And it's like, no, you did it wrong. Stop. No more. Anyways, that's pretty good for board games. So, it's not on the list, but Mousetrap is always a classic.
Oh yeah.
Half the fun was just setting it up. No one knows how to play it. You just set the board up, then you let it go. And that's really all you needed out of Mousetrap. I don't know. I think that's still going, but I think the setting up is less so. Anyways, any other board games you feel like bringing up? Once again, just
No.
rolling off of your own nostalgia. If there's anything that's come
Yeah.
to mind.
Played a lot of that. Just the really basic ones. Sorry.
Yeah.
Remember Frustration? Was that the one with the poppy thing in the middle?
Yeah.
That thing's fun.
I don't know what it. No, Anticipation's the one on the Nintendo.
Yeah. The
Um,
music's really good for that.
Yeah. That was David Wise, I think, that did that. But
Nice.
Pop-O-Matic Trouble. That's what it was. Trouble.
Pop 'em
And
in.
then, yeah, and I think there was another one that was kind of a knockoff, and that's the one I had.
Remember that game with like the fish and they had like magnets in the mouth and then you
Yes,
wind it up and then the
loved-
fish. open
Yes,
the
I
clothes,
love
yeah.
that shit.
That's awesome. They still make those, in, like dollar stores.
Yeah, that was always fun.
Good times, good times. Anyways, we can by all means bring any more up as we think them up. We've got a list here. Any G.I. Joe fans in the room?
Nah.
I actually had a whole bunch of those. I remember. You mentioned having Transformers back in the day. I was never that big on Transformers. I don't remember having them, but I remember G.I. Joe, He-Man, and TMNT. Those are my trifecta right there.
Yeah.
I remember having boxes of all of those. G.I. Joe. Nowadays, I really don't care for G.I. Joe. It's like guys. They're like army guys, but I remember when you could mail away for special figures. I guess eBay's kind of
Yeah.
like that now, but I remember I mailed away for like the maybe I bought it from the store, I don't remember, but there's like these 3 Super Cobra guys from the movie. One of them was like half snake. I got that guy, and it came in this huge 3-pack. It's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. He's half snake. It's like finally the Cobra guys are actually cobras. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
One guy had like wings.
Well, you know, when I remember G.I. Joe coming out maybe in the early 80s, maybe 83, 84, and it was still like pretty much like sort of like realistic military, like you could get a Jeep and a tank.
Mm.
Then they were green, they were kind of like military green. And then as the years went by, it got crazier and crazier.
Yeah,
right?
a bit
You
more
remember? I mean,
fantastic. With the
yeah, that's exactly right. And so I don't know what my point was. Just eventually they were making guys made out of snakes or Destro or something who was metal. And but I remember like that first group of them. It was like a green tank and a green Jeep and some kind of anti-aircraft machine gun or something. And do you guys remember any of those?
I know
The only
of-
one I remember is the frickin' aircraft carrier.
Well, yeah, the thing every kid wanted, maybe, but
Yeah.
there's no way my parents were getting me that thing.
Yeah, my neighbor had that one. I
Oh
didn't.
man, that was great.
Those are big too.
Yeah, because it was
Big
all. I mean,
play sets.
I don't know if it was to scale, but it was pretty. It was more to scale than some Transformers, and so
Yeah.
the thing was gigantic, 5 feet maybe.
Yeah, it was freaking huge. My neighbor had all kinds of crazy stuff like that. He had the like all the fighter jets and everything too, and
Yeah.
It's like, man, I never got those. You guys remember the Street Fighter ones that they did?
Yeah.
Like right around the time the movie
That's
came out, they did the Street Fighter action figures. The Street Fighter GI Joes, they were actually GI Joes, and they were like branded as GI Joes, but they had the Street Fighter on there too.
Really?
Yeah, they were not. I wanted them so bad, but if you look at them now, they're like not. They were not very good quality.
I'm just gonna keep Google open. I like how the like all their weapons would be stuck in one piece.
Yep.
You like snap them off.
Oh yeah,
You
that
don't
was
break
everything.
something. Yeah,
Ninja
that's
Turtles were like that too.
Turtles all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it was called the Cobra Law Team. I'm just saving a picture. I'll put that on Twitter later. Awesome. You can see the packaging. Like one guy's got like tentacles, like octopus tentacles. One guy's just like a regular thug, and then this half snake guy is just super tall compared to the other two. That's funny. That's good times. 3-packs. You know you're in for a good time when you get a 3-pack of toys. Man, that's actually one of the neat things about these Titans Return guys is that you're paying the amount for a single guy, but it's actually 2 guys.
Oh.
Like at the alligator thing here, that's kind of hard to tell. But there's these little pegs on him, and you can stick the Titan Master on those pegs. You can have like 4 of these little head dudes standing on the alligator. It's stupid, but it's awesome. The end of his tail is actually his gun. I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah.
cool. Cool. Hey, remember Slime? Slime was everywhere back then. Because I was just saying in TMNT, and you couldn't have turtles without ooze.
Ghostbusters had it too.
Yeah.
I used to have the He-Man slime.
What?
I think it was a He-Man branded slime.
He-Man had slime?
I think so.
Nice. I'm looking that up right now.
And we used to put we used to drown our muscle men in the He-Man slime.
The slime pit?
Yeah, we'd just dump them in there and
Slime was the greatest thing ever. Oh, there was a slime pit He-Man figure. He was like neon see-through green. Damn. Okay, here's enough.
Did you find it?
Yeah. No, it came up real quick.
Like in a red tub.
I had one of the newest, hypest He-Man toys back in daycare, and some little shit stole it. I couldn't believe it. It was like brand new. Just, where'd my He-Man go? I'll never forget. Never forgive. Slime pit.
That's it. Yeah, the evil horde slime.
Okay, don't stop. I'm just gonna turn my light on real quick.
Oh man, it's got dark quick where you're. Wow.
Yeah. The sun's going. Yeah,
There we go. Okay. When we started this episode, it was daytime, and now it's getting to be nighttime.
Yep.
This light overhead, though, it is hot. So I'm in this old, old. It's like, apartments when they're obviously designed in the 80s or 70s, and there's like this decor. Where It's like, this is old decor. This is not modern. This light above me had these huge, heavy, very dangerous spiked glass covers for each light bulb, and there's 5 of them. And I did not like having these spiked glass balls of doom above me where I'm sitting, so I removed them. But now there's like nothing keeping the heat away, so it's like I've got Easy Bake Ovens above me. Shout out to Easy Bake Oven, another classic toy. But yeah, anyways, TMNT, I was huge on that.
Oh god, yeah. I have so many freaking Turtles toys, and I still have all of them that I grew up with. Never got rid of them.
Really, you still got them all? That's awesome.
Yeah, they're all in here. Other than got the Technodrome downstairs.
Oh, so
had the
cool.
Technodrome too. Had my party wagons downstairs too. I didn't. Not the party wagon. I actually had 2 of them because my brother and I both got one at one point, and I was kind of a spoiled kid, so I got all kinds of cool stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, they're all in like terrible shape because we played so much with them. But yeah, man, got the module, like the little drill thing that they got that down there too.
Nice.
And most of it, they had all these little parts on them that I've lost. I don't know where the hell they are.
No, that's to be expected.
Yep. Just all kinds of turtles. They always did like the they just make the toys, and the toys had nothing to do with the show or the comics or anything like that. They just like put them in little costumes and stuff.
Yeah,
Had the
those later
sports turtles.
seasons.
Yeah,
Bring them
and,
back, but they've got to do something different.
Yeah,
Here's
they got,
Michelangelo in a clown suit.
Oh, here's Donatello in a
Dracula.
beach volleyball thing, and he's got a little squirt gun thing on him. And
Nice. I don't know if you noticed, but the bosses in the third NES Ninja Turtles game were all based on. I'm thinking they started as the toys.
Yeah, they did. There was the.
what was it? The
A mole guy.
Meat Chuck or whatever.
Yeah, it was like a bull mutant.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, the toys are now in the game. It's canon. Anyway, Brasel's presenting. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Native
racist.
American. Lead.
Yep.
I've got a Dracula Donatello over there.
Yeah.
I kept just a handful of my favorite Ninja Turtles. The rest I had to give away. Oh yeah, Old West Donnie.
Yeah.
Like I kept Krang. I kept Baxter Stockman as the Fly. You got to keep that one. That's one of the best.
I never had that one actually.
That's a good one. I kept the Triceraton.
Yeah, I didn't have that one either. Casey Jones without a hand.
I never liked Casey Jones. What a shit. I'm here to see mutants. I don't want to see a random dude. That was a good one.
This is an awesome toy.
Yeah.
I love
Doesn't
this
his
one.
back open up or something?
No.
I do actually have some of those.
Yeah, some of them could like hold stuff in their shells.
Yeah.
Good times. I've got Slash. Do you have Slash? The
I
evil.
do not have Slash, but yeah,
That's the original.
back-
Oh, there you go.
back up the turtle.
Talk about gaps in the plastic again.
Yeah.
You got the ones that like you wind up and they like do things like.
Is that the spinning one?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing it. Oh. I'm guessing that was Michelangelo spinning his arm. I guess if he had a nunchuk,
Yeah.
realistic
Leonardo.
nunchuk action.
Leonardo probably should be. I don't know.
Army. Oh, that's like Brasel mode.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just funny. It's
An
just
army suit wearing Leonardo.
God, freaking surfing
Michelangelo.
Dude, you should do a YouTube video on these too.
rock soldier, General Tag.
Brasel's gone in full Ninja Turtle mode.
Yeah, I've got a lot of them, man. They're all over here. Got a lot of Ghostbusters in here too.
I recently found out at a thrift store the Chrome Dome or whatever the robot turtle guy was.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. He's got the light piping too. Yeah, there you go.
Metalhead.
There you go. He was the boss in the game too.
Yes, he was. But he was in the show and I want to say the comic book.
That's true.
It's a,
Ugh. That's creepy.
yeah,
No,
that's the,
there's a Ghostbusters toy that had similar. That was
Oh, yeah, I got a.
a lot of Ghostbuster toys that do that, like
Oh boy, yeah.
oh, and the
That
toilet.
one's spooky. Oh, the toilet's the best. Okay, so there's a local toy store, and there's a local artist that has some of his work in the local toy store for sale, and one of the drawings he did was of that real Ghostbusters haunted toilet.
The haunted toilet.
So if you ever wanted fan art of the haunted toilet in the Ghostbusters toy line, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a fuck ton of the Ninja Turtle stuff.
Alright, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, yeah, let's talk Ghostbusters for a bit. Now, there's a new Ghostbusters out, but we're not going to talk about that one so much. Ghostbusters the original. Remember how the toys on that one, like each one, well, starting from the beginning at least, they would have like the gun with the proton pack and had like the laser coming out of the gun,
Yeah.
and then you could spin it. The laser would never leave the gun; it was always stuck like that, and the laser would always break.
Yeah.
But it looked really cool, and I think each Ghostbuster. Wait, he's
You got it? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
showing us. There you go. Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Represent
Yeah.
again.
They're all broke though. Like the
Yeah,
whole-
exactly. It's such a thin piece of plastic; it can't not.
Yeah, there's Peter. There's a Peter. You had the green one.
I liked how they would come with ghosts. Just one small ghost for each one. And then the ghost would interact with them somewhere, like the one that would go on their head
Mm-hmm.
as though they were being slimed.
There's the one from like.
Yeah, he's got
Ecto
one.
That's the one from the Ecto one.
Cool. And those are all like a see-through plastic.
Yeah,
That's
but it made
implying
and
the
it made a
spectralness.
lot of sense for the ghost.
Mhm. Who doesn't like see-through toys? And before we lose Eric, I just want to bring to mind Skylanders, which is an interesting link between what we know as video games and the toy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a shame they've been Activisioned into obscurity again. Like, let's just keep remaking it over and over again.
Yeah, they really ran that in the ground, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Our local EB Games, though, you can get the starter pack for $15 right now, which is actually the same price as a single amiibo.
Of the newest game, the
Yeah.
Chargers or something.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
tempted
those-
to. I might get it for that price, just for the Donkey Kong amiibo. Because then you can
Oh,
play
that's
Donkey
right.
Kong.
Yeah.
Plays Donkey Kong in a Skylanders game. I'm keen to see what all his attacks are. Pretty neat.
It's a thought.
$15. It's pretty darn cheap. I've been able to resist. I'm
Yeah, I
a few
have
games behind, but I do like this idea of combining like the physical toys with like a digital game. That's really neat. And makes for some really really good painted figures for anyone's table, be it the Amiibo or the Disney Infinity figures. And once again, it's too bad about Disney Infinity kicking the bucket, because those are some really nice figures.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they just picked the wrong characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we grabbed all the Star Wars ones that we could from the latest batch, just to have the Star Wars.
Yeah,
That's about as far as that's about as far as our interest went with Infinity. We bought it for the kids; they're not into it. We bought the Star Wars ones. Maybe that's for me. Maybe that's for them.
Yeah, but it's for the family, for the
It's
cute
for the
dog
family.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. It's for the cute dog house.
Perfect. I barely played that one. I wanted to. I always want to, but then I don't want to. I'll just play Team Fortress 2 and watch a movie, and I'm good. I don't know if it's an age thing or if it's just maybe I've been working the same job too long and I'm just used to the routine as it is. Hey, you guys remember this thing? I'm holding up Robbie the robot. This is a bank. So you put a coin here, and then
yeah.
puts it down, and then
puts it
he
in his
eats
mouth.
it, and then his little tongue comes out. I haven't tested this yet. I picked this up at Bio Village.
There are a lot of things like that.
Mm-hmm. Banks were awesome. They always had cool banks.
Yeah.
Fun fact: some of the very first YouTube videos I did were actually on toys. So maybe we did a full circle. I think I showed off a bank, or one that I picked up and showed off from the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. It's over here hanging out with my Funkos, but I'm now holding up a Milton Bradley Thing. Totally hilarious, incredibly neat game of skill. This is called Gorilla. And each one of these was its own self-contained little 3D board game type thing.
Oh, wait. I think I do remember those.
You did a video on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
That was one of my first videos, I think.
I had no memory of those things until I saw your video, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
So cool. Why can't they do things like this again? I mean, like I'm buying the Transformers. There are still cool toys, but man, the 80s, beautiful.
Yep.
Ghostbusters mentioned that. That's obviously based on the movies, but probably more based on the cartoon. I think a lot of us knew the cartoon more than the movies.
Oh.
Like we mentioned G.I. Joe, we didn't really mention
Yeah.
He-Man, but TMNT, Ghostbusters, like, man, 80s cartoons and the toys, that ironclad connection. If there was a cartoon, there were toys, and you probably wanted those toys. And the box art was so super cool.
Absolutely.
He-Man.
I wish I still had some of those Ghostbusters and box and stuff. I wish I did, but
Yeah, it'd
I'm
be
not going
tough
to
to
spend
keep.
the money on that.
And I was a really anal kid, too. That's why it sucks that I have to lose some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Although I remember one of my cats actually was, like, cats, they love ripping things up.
Mhm.
So the side of Fireball Island's box was all, like, chewed and scratched.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Precious memories. Unfortunately, though, that box is gone.
Uh-huh.
He-Man. Like, each He-Man figure was its own, like, completely separate from the rest of them. They all shared the same shape, but each one could be vastly different. You could have an elephant man, like a see-through man, a moss man. You
Mm-hmm.
just never knew what was coming up next out of He-Man. Cartoon, it's what was that? Filmation.
Filmation, yeah, I think that's right.
We used a lot of the assets over and over again, so you would have it was a new episode, but you'd have seen a lot of that animation over again. Same with the other Ghostbusters. Yeah. We mentioned Visionaries in the list here. That was a lesser known toy line / cartoon, but that focused on holograms. And as we all remember, back in the day, holograms were the shit.
Yeah.
There was nothing more exciting than holograms. I think I mentioned it before, but there was a hologram store in Richmond in Vancouver. And that street is known for having like really fancy boutiques and all that. And there was a store that just sold holograms for your wall. It's like, man, that's an old memory right there. So I brought one for a little event here. Is that I've got one of the smaller Visionaries. It's like this little wizard dude with a glow-in-the-dark sword. And inside, you can actually take it out to make 2 pieces. Spooky. It's like a small little wizard guy in a cloak or like a druid. But inside, there's this other piece, and in there is the hologram. He's like an invisible man. If you move it, it changes. Super cool.
I remember one with like a chest piece, like a really big. Almost like I don't know. It's almost like he had like an armor, like a thing of armor on or something that had like a face in it or something.
Like this one is like one of the cheaper like sidekick characters. But, like they had like sticks with like a picture of the hologram because I guess that's where the power comes from. We have Mask on here, and now there's been talk of there might be something new coming up for Mask. What was that? That was like it was like Mad Max kind of.
I don't remember anything about that
show. Vintage
Mask?
Video Game Geek mentions it.
Yeah, Mask was the vehicles transformed into alternate forms of the vehicles.
Yeah.
Like the car would transform into an airplane or the motorcycle. Yeah, okay.
It was like a Camaro or something, right?
Yeah. It was kind of. I always felt that Mask was sort of a Transformers sort of knockoff. Well.
Kind of.
It took its inspiration from Transformers. It was vehicles that transform, and then they put human characters in it that had these masks that could do these special powers.
Nice.
But
I was never exposed to that, but I think I've been reading that there might be something new coming out for that. Reboots, man. Everything's got to be rebooted.
I don't know.
On the list, we got Cops. Those are big toys, and each one of them can shoot like caps.
Yeah.
Through these little packets of like gunpowder. So you put the thing in the thing, and then you pull the trigger, and then pow! Just like shooting guns, like cops.
I had a lot of them, and I wish they still had them. I didn't.
Right.
I had that big. I had the helicopter with the two, like the one side was blue and one side was red, and I had like you could put 2 figures in there.
Mm-hmm.
I had the motorcycle cop guy.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Yeah. There was one that had like a little like flying ship.
Yeah. He had like a little board or something, and then on the underside of it there was a little thing where you like pulled it back and let it go.
There's like a
and it would
bomb,
do the cap,
right?
And it would do the cap. Yeah. And then I had like they had that really cool like police car thing that had like it was like a dome almost, and it had like the grill in front of it. Oh shit! I gotta find that. That thing was so cool.
Dig her up. Post it on Twitter.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm looking this stuff up right now.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this toy line at all.
Oh man.
I bought
so
from my dollar store. I bought the Cops DVD sets, which was awesome. For you to buy them on Amazon, they'd be like $20-$30 each. They're over there.
So there was a cartoon for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when did these come out?
Dude. They just mid 80s.
Yeah.
Really?
Mid to late 80s. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, there's the picture. There's the fucking. That thing was cool. And it had like a gun on top of it.
Yeah, I knew this would be a fun episode.
Oh man. Oh, where's
I just knocked some things over, but I just dug up my still sealed Cops, $2 each, volume 1, volume 2.
Nice.
Should I be putting a hashtag on this?
There you go. Here, there's that. Fighting crime in a future time. The year 2020. The place, Empire City. And
2020.
it gets a bit more specific, so we're almost there.
Yeah.
Felt a bit like RoboCop, because they were all like cybernetic.
Yeah, they all had like some kind of enhancement or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was called an Ironsides. That's what it was. Oh, and there was a cop in it. There was a guy that came with that specific toy.
So just next to my Google picture, remember the Police Academy toys? That's awesome.
No, I don't.
I
This guy
remember
was.
those.
Oh
I
man,
thought they were this line. They barely did anything, but they were like skateboard kids, but they were like all mangled. Like one of them was like covered in like broken pieces of glass. I guess they're trying to scare kids away from like being reckless on skateboards. But there's this whole line of toys that was just that, just like mangled kids on skateboards, and that was the
Really?
toy. It was amazing. I still have a couple. Oh, good times. What else we got on this list here?
Tweet some of this
Yeah.
stuff out.
Hit us with a personal favorite, Eric. Exactly.
Which one?
Hit us with a personal favorite.
Oh, hit you with a personal favorite. Well, we talked about Transformers, He-Man. Those were the big ones for me. Let's do. Well, I don't know. Let's do GoBots real quick.
Okay.
I mean, I know we talked about Transformers, but I guess I'll just say, GoBots. We saw those first. I thought we kind of introduced to them first, but they lasted about as long as until we found out about Transformers.
Yeah.
And then we never looked back.
Well, I've been right now. I'm holding the Super GoBot Psykill. He's one of the villains. Super cool design. Like these.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Is a goddamn retro toy. Like the weight. Like, you could hurt someone if you threw this at them.
Is there metal? There's metal in that?
Yeah. Like the whole main piece of this guy is metal.
Yeah.
And that's a rubber tire right there. That's another rubber tire.
Yeah, that looks like a nice one.
Like these were the super industrial. Like Transformers had a lot of diecast. I think Super GoBots had more diecast.
Yeah. Well, most GoBots were tiny little things, though, right? Remember?
Yeah. Different sizes. Same with the Transformers. Price points. You could always tell how wealthy your parents were by the size of the toys you got.
Yeah, no 5-foot aircraft carrier.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, GoBots are sweet. I've been tempted to buy one of the GoBots DVDs, but they're expensive, and I'm prepared for the worst as far as quality. But yeah, they were affiliated with I believe Bandai and Tonka. And Tonka, of course, was known for having really big diecast like construction toys.
Oh, that's something, right? Did you guys ever have those? I used to have a bunch of those Tonka trucks.
Oh,
Giant metal trucks.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I had a Tonka.
Still have mine.
Like
really?
Dump truck that I could sit in.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I think when I was like
smaller at the
really
time.
young.
Yeah, like those were made to last.
Yeah, they were. Those were awesome.
Tonka trucks. They don't make stuff like that anymore, do they?
They do make
Really?
Tonka. Like it's still around, but
Is
I
it?
don't know if
I
they're.
think it's like all plastic now.
Yeah.
Some things still have metal though. I mean, like Hot Wheels.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Matchbox, but yeah. We got Kenner. Kenner was known for making a lot of these things. The brand. But Kenner Aliens and Predator, like kids obviously were probably not allowed to go see Aliens, but we got all the toys anyways.
Oh yeah.
We got this guy here from a local seller. Like the Aliens toys just got out of control. I've got a flying alien queen in the back I was going to do a video of. I have a crab alien. They really got weird. Like this guy can shoot a little flying thing out of his back. Just like if you enjoy the alien movies, like these Kenner toys are just so good. So good. And then Predators as well, but I never liked Predator as much as Aliens.
The thing that kills me about those toys, I never had any of those, right? Because those movies were rated R.
Yeah.
And they're making toys for them, and my folks wouldn't let us see
right?
the movies, and so we had no interest in them, and we never got those toys.
I don't know why. Well, going back to the 70s, like there's that really, really big alien toy, like original G.I. Joe size, if not bigger, and that was based on the first Alien movie. It's like, were kids seeing this original movie? But I guess because they made a toy and it is fantastic, and it's super expensive. Speaking of super expensive, though, and speaking of knowing how much money your parents have, I'm now holding a spooky tree man. This is from Inhumanoids.
Yeah.
And there's 3 really big monsters in that line, and I'd love to get a hold of those. Each one is easily worth $100, if not more now. And I know J-Rock, the Game Rocker, recently or a friend of his did a video where he was in it, and they were in like a retro shop, and behind them was the green one. That's like the coolest one. That's like a big toy. Hard to find.
Is that one of them? Is that one of the big ones? The one you got there?
This is a smaller one. These are.
Oh,
like,
it
this
is?
still like it's a big toy.
Yeah.
But the other ones are like
Really?
Unicron size, probably if not a bit bigger.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that green one from commercials or something when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
I never got into that line of toys. Did you? I mean,
No. Well, I've got these two. These are the ones I've had since I was a kid. So this guy, he's like a molten man, but you take the front off. Whoa, he's a lava man now.
Oh my god.
That's super cool, right?
yeah.
Look at that. And light piping. So his eyes burn bright green. So cool.
Oh, yeah.
And you gotta cool them off and put them back in there. Fucking hype. On this hypecast. Alright, you mentioned muscle before. Those were
Oh,
based
yeah.
on, like a
Those are fun.
old school Japanese manga and anime, I guess. A little fun, just one color, no paint at all, but just fun to collect. A lot of smaller toys that would come in like packs of 3 or packs of 12, or came in like a garbage can, didn't they, Muscle? I've got one big one where it's like 30 of them in a case, and I still have that. It's
Yeah.
in
And
the back
it
of-
was all random, right? They were just randomly thrown in there or something, and
yeah.
there were like 200 some different styles or something.
Mm.
Isn't that how it worked? I don't.
Something like that. Next to that, I put army ants. Similar idea. So those were painted. Army ants were amazing. Super cool.
I don't remember.
It's like an orange team of army ants versus a blue team of army ants, and each one was its own unique character. And it's just like red versus blue, kind of like Team Fortress. And it's just they didn't do much. They just like I got a rubber butt part on the back. I don't know if Adam's still watching. He would know what part of a bug that is.
Oh, yeah. Thorax.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
That's the only part I came to mind, the thorax, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, but if you look up army ants 80s toy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can see them here, yeah. You're right,
Those-
blue and, well, these look orange, but,
Yeah,
and they've got like a little bulbish, I
Yeah.
don't know, it looks like rubber.
You
What was
could
the
take
point of
off
that?
if you wanted
You
to.
could-
It was just cool, I guess.
You could take them off?
You weren't supposed to. There was nothing under there.
Oh,
Just
oh,
the
I
thing that
see.
holds it there, but I think it was just to add an extra texture to it.
So are these supposed to be like the muscle men? They're just sort of different guys in different poses, and
Yeah,
they don't really do anything, right? You just
No.
kind of,
I don't think they had
Like
a
all old
show or
army men.
anything.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
Cool.
you look it
I
up,
miss
they're
these,
just
yeah.
they're just cool, fun to collect. Food fighters, is that what that is?
Yes.
Fighting food. I mean, you can just keep listing things off.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. Oh, remember those battle beasts? Those are really expensive now. They're like tiny, similar as army ants. Just little how do you say that word?
Anthropomorphic?
Whatever.
I don't know. Battle
They're-
beasts?
Whenever
Animal
you're
heads,
trying to
human-
think about it, it's impossible to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Animal heads, human bodies. They had the little rub sign on their chest to know what faction they were working for, and each one had a little weapon comes with them in the package. For whatever reason, battle beasts are really expensive now.
This
They're just-
does look familiar.
Yeah, just one of those things.
I wonder if I had one of these.
Might have.
Nah, I
I'm
don't know.
surprised.
I know, I'm sorry.
Troll dolls. Get out of here. I'm not talking about troll dolls.
Speaking of troll dolls,
Oh.
oh god, now I gotta show you something. I
Okay.
don't know if you guys remember seeing this stuff or not.
Alright, Brazel's going to be presenting.
Where are
Alright,
you?
Brazel's. Wait, we got a drum roll.
Oh, here we go.
Get it ready.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear. That's probably worth something now.
I've got two of them. I don't think it's worth anything. I looked
Brazel
it
is
up
holding
recently.
up a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but it's like a troll doll as well.
Yeah,
Pretty
so it's like
creepy.
Raphael with crazy red troll hair.
Turtle hair.
Yeah, it's creepy as shit. My mom
Crazy.
got him.
I think I got
Bizarre.
a Michelangelo
know.
in here too.
I'm gonna look that up on eBay. I don't remember what they were called, but there was this thing where it was like weird.
Michelangelo.
They were like in trash bags or something, but they were like little figures, and you drop the bag in like a thing of water, and the bag dissolves, and underneath is a toy. Do you remember what those things were called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. Something I want to say was it Monster in My Pocket? It was something similar to that. Garbage bag dissolve toy. Good old Google. There we go. Trash bag bunch.
Trash.
Trash bag bunch?
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
Look those up. I had a few of those. I think I might still. I don't know where they went though. One of the first things, if you look up trash bag bunch, there's this picture that shows all of them. I love that. There's one on the top who's like yellow with 3 legs. That thing blew my
I
mind.
don't think I did see these.
Like you never knew which one you got, but each one came in like if you see on Google once again, you can see
Yeah, Monster
one
in My
that's still
Pocket, I
sealed.
remember.
Yeah.
So what's the gimmick with these trash bag bunch?
You get the thing in the package, right? You can't tell what's in there because they're in the trash bag. So
Okay.
you rip that first bag open, and in it is a second bag. You drop that in water, and the bag dissolves. And underneath all that, that's when you figure which figure
So
you
you got a toys in there? Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like the manual of Star Tropics. Just this water interaction thing. Hey, remember when
Yeah.
Hot Wheels had the paint that changed color with how hot or cold the water was? Good times.
Yeah, I remember those. I probably still have mine downstairs. I have like all of my toys other than the Cops. Like the Cops is the only thing I don't have anymore, and the Batman stuff. But like everything else, I still have.
Yeah.
I have like my cool big ass box of Matchbox cars.
Man, I must have had a ton of trash bag bunches because I'm looking at them like I had that one. I had that one. There's like this green dog guy. I had that. And there's like a green alien guy. I had that. There's like a robot guy. I had that. Excuse me. 2-headed thingies. Weird. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Well, this has been going on. What else we want to say? We did talk about a bit about modern day toys. I mean, sign of the times. They just don't have there's so many more people to make toys for, I guess. And then the costs go up. Everything goes up in price. Quality keeps going down. So I guess sign of the times. I do like this Titans return line. Like I am going to keep picking these things up if I get the good price. But I mean, they're not what they used to be. But they look good in their own way. Each line has its own ups and downs. Now I recently ordered in this ginormous character I'm now holding from the Transformers Cybertron line. This is Primus.
You still have me on presenting.
Oh, thank you. Nope. Wait. We're live, people. Nope. Get buttons. There we go. Okay. So that's a really big ass toy, and that's 2005 or something. So I mean,
That's huge.
Yeah. I'm holding this giant blue and white behemoth of a toy, and he's not die-cast, but he's super cool. And the thing was like $60 or something. So there's still stuff out there. If the stuff you find in stores does make you sad, there are still cool toys, and they might be used, but I mean, there's still some really neat stuff out there. For all ages. For kids of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. I put at the bottom of this list reboots and movies. And then it's fun to see how they are playing off of our nostalgia of this stuff to bring back things like Ghostbusters or the live-action G.I. Joe movies they did. And they do bring more toys back. Maybe not quite what we wanted out of them. These movies might not be that good, but, I can see. We're all adults. We understand the power of nostalgia. We just did a little podcast about it. As long as they don't just screw it all up. Stop screwing it all up. We got a new Michael Bay Transformers movie on the way. Probably not a new Ghostbusters. I hear that one didn't do too well. And I don't think they're going to do any more G.I. Joe movies. Alrighty. Anyways, anything else you want to bring up? Good chat and good nostalgia?
No. Yeah.
I don't have anything in particular.
Cool. Alright, well, I think I'm about ready to wrap up our little toy chat. Good times.
Mm-hmm.
Good trip down memory lane. We do have a few topics for interesting news if you guys are still in the mood to do some of that. I know Brasel wrote in Retro Bit Generations, if you want to tell us a bit about that.
The Retro Bit Generations was Retrobit is making like a little emulation console, kind of like the NES Classic Edition, but it's going to have a bunch of arcade-style games on it. And I had, Sean Long, RGT85 or whatever, he had made a video about the announcement of it, and there wasn't like a list of games or anything they didn't have a solid list of games yet, and he mentioned that it was kind of interesting. So I was trolling around on Reddit the other day, and I found an article that had the list of games that was supposed to be on this thing, and so I tweeted it at him. I was like, "Hey, look at this!" So he tweets it at Retrobit like, "Oh, hey guys, look at this," and then they're like, "Oh, that's not supposed to be out yet." So somebody had leaked the list early, and Mike Kennedy from the Coleco Chameleon fame, the guy that lied to the whole retro gaming community about having a working prototype. He had the SNES and the Jaguar shell, that whole fiasco.
Yeah.
He was the one to let that leak. And then Retrobit got a hold of me and hey, can you take down your tweet? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, not a problem. So I took down the tweet, and then they were like, hey, where'd you find this information? And I, pointed them to Reddit and pointed them to the article, and then maybe 20 minutes later, the article was 404, and so interesting little thing. And I mean, I completely get where they were coming from. They didn't want that out yet, so.
It looks pretty neat. I mean, you can find information on Google. It wasn't hard.
Yeah.
What was the problem exactly? Is that you had the games list?
Yeah, they had the game list, and it wasn't supposed to be like they weren't supposed to.
Too soon?
Yeah, because of some specific deals, I guess.
Might not have been finalized yet or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it was oh, this is the stuff we're working on trying to get, and then somebody went and leaked it. And
I'm looking at one. It looks like kind of like an old Genesis controller, Capcom Data East games.
Yep.
So it's just like a plug and play, not unlike the NES Mini?
Exactly. Just pretty much a plug and play.
That's cool. I'd probably buy one. Well, I mean, I remember HMV once again had the Sega Genesis, the one, and I was like, I didn't buy it.
Yeah, that wasn't.
If the price is right, I mean, it was like $60. I was like, It's not like the Nintendo one. You got to get the Nintendo one. I think it's because it was like buy Nintendo. Like if Sega made a tiny Sega plug and play, Sega buy Sega, full of Sega, then I think we'd all be a bit more excited. When it's just some weird random company, it just was in
cahoots. Hey, license this out. Why don't you guys do this? Yeah.
That's when you start to worry about controller quality or if the thing will even work at all.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. What else do we have on our list here? Metal Gear Survive recently announced.
Oh God.
So that's what? PS4 Left 4 Dead? Metal Gear?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more like one of those survival, those base building ones that everybody's playing on Steam right now. That's what it kind of looks like too.
Crafting. That's all I want.
Yeah. That's kind of what it looks like.
Zombies and crafting. That's all the kids want now.
Yeah. So a lot of people are all mad about it, and I'm just like,
that's the internet.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
No. Series ended, so
I don't think Konami can do anything right. I don't mean that they suck, but I just mean no matter what they do, the fans will not like it.
Yeah.
It's like with Nintendo and Metroid. They wanted to try something new. They want to do something different. I respect that. I mean, I don't want to spend $50 on this mostly co-op Metroid game, but it's neat that they're doing something. People just assume that because they made this, that they're mad because they don't have that thing that they just imagine that they want.
Yeah.
Sorry, but these companies, I think they just don't want to make the same game all over again. Wasn't Kojima sick of working on Metal Gear games?
Yeah, he had tried to quit working on Metal Gear games for several iterations now. He
Mhm.
wanted to pass it off to somebody else. Obviously, he's not involved in this one.
Yeah. People are like, "Oh, we love you because of Metal Gear," but it's Konami that made him make more Metal Gear, the thing that people
Yeah.
love. But then they still hate on Konami. It's just like, well, it's because of Konami that he made that many more Metal Gears that you love to play.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fans or the internet people are just stupid. I said it before. It's like the problem with Twitter is that you can just be stupid and you don't have to think things through. And then if that many more people are just being stupid, then it just gains momentum. And then suddenly we have these like change.org down with Metroid Federation Force and all this nonsense. It's just whatever. Whatever. Just play Axiom Verge or Ghost Song.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I guess that's about it. Hyper Ghostbusters Go / Left 4 Dead. It's just a thought I had on Twitter. It would be neat if they made something like Pokemon Go, but it was Ghostbusters, and you were catching ghosts instead of Pokemon. Or if they made a game like Left 4 Dead, but it was Ghostbusters. I mean, there's potential there. Okay, that's it. I think we're about done with, what was this, episode 20 of the August CAPMAX Hypecast? Episode 20, yeah. Cool. All right, gentlemen. So we'll give everyone a chance to tell us what you're looking forward to and pimp out your channels again. We'll start with Brasel.
What I'm looking forward to? I don't even remember what I had. Oh, I am going to
World Expo.
I am going to Retro World, the Retro World Expo in Connecticut in October.
Show players.
It's kind of a last minute decision to just do it. So I took, I had the vacation to take. So I'm going to drive 16 hours to Connecticut over a 4-day weekend and 16 hours back home to go meet up and, talk retro gaming with a bunch of different YouTube people. So I'm really excited about that, but, a little scared too, just because it's such a big con. I haven't been to a really big con before. It's only the second year, but apparently it's pretty big anyway, so. I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be really cool.
Right on. Final Fantasy 15. Is that the MMO or is it? No, that's the new one.
That's the new one. That's the new one. I'm kind of excited about it. I think I go off and on about it. Some days I look at some footage and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I'm really hyped, and then other days it's just like, I'm not so excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
something different. It's not the Final Fantasy I knew.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I liked Final Fantasy 12 a lot, and that's this kind of does the same, a different. It's not active time battle or whatever. It's not turn based, and I'm fine with that. I think it'll be fun.
They almost look like action games now. It doesn't seem like there's menus or anything. It's just running around.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
That's good.
We've had so many turn-based Final Fantasies. If they're going to do something different.
Yeah. Well, there's certainly other games that are filling that niche. Like I don't know if you've heard of I Am Setsuna, but that's basically very much inspired by Chrono Trigger as an example.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Like I was saying before, just don't make a Chrono Trigger game. Make I Am Setsuna.
Yep.
And then sell it. And there you go. It won't be taken down by Squaresoft because it's like the game. It's not the game.
Yeah.
It's like. I think that's the way to go. Alright, good stuff. And of course that was Brasel the Gamer. Find him on YouTube, on Twitter, all over the place. Facebook. Brasel the Gamer. That's all it is. It's good stuff. And Eric, oh man, Portland Retro Gaming Expo, that's real soon, isn't it?
Yeah, that's coming up in 2 months, which I guess is simultaneously kind of far away, but really, really close too. So we spent a lot of time. Huh?
It'll catch up.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of the center of our game collecting year is going to that. So getting ready for that. A bunch of people are coming out from the Cartridge Club, and it's always a big event. So got to start saving up, getting the lists together. So yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. And I was looking through the releases in terms of games coming out this year, and I don't know. I
don't know.
I hate to sound like a copy, but yeah, Final Fantasy 15 is probably the one I'm most interested in. I couldn't identify anything else that I'm super excited about that's coming out. But
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my own looking forward list, and it's kind of thin. I I should put PS4, but I need a price drop first.
Well,
Then
yeah.
games are just expensive.
Yep.
Too expensive, especially in Canada.
Yeah.
$90 No Man's Sky. Get out of here. The games I haven't
don't
done yet.
bet it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna put that in interesting news that people are complaining that the Galaxy Simulator. I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised it's not quite done yet, but I mean it'll get there. They're still working on it. Sign of the times once again. Toys are full
Yeah.
of holes. Games aren't done when they ship.
Yep.
Where's the good news? Modern day. Why aren't we on Mars yet? What's going on with that? Wasn't that the satellite supposed to be landing on Jupiter? What happened with that? We need to go to space. Gotta look up
Yeah.
to the future. Anyways, that was Eric. He's the Mighty Q Dog. They can find you where on YouTube and
On
Twitter?
YouTube at the Mighty Q Dog, and on Twitter at Mighty Q Dog, DAWG. They're all DAWG. And Mrs. Q Dog is my wife Melissa, who's also a part of the channel.
Very good. Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being here today. I'm Steven, once again. This was the CAPMAX HYPECAST, episode 20. You can find me on YouTube. You probably already found me if you're watching this. CAPMAX Gaming, or you can listen to this edited. It's really not edited. I just add music. That's over on Podomatic. But I add fun music and sounds. Did you hear the last one? The last episode, Eric? The most
19?
recent one?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet. I like to go through them in order, so I'm sticking to a strict order.
Okay.
Although I think
edited-
I tuned into one while it was running live, but no, I haven't heard the edited version.
I think that was the one where I edited in one of those Canada minutes. If you guys probably won't know, but on TV, on Canadian TV, they would always show these things. It's like a Canadian minute, and they'd show a piece of history.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
good.
there we
It's
go.
fun. Canadians will remember it. So I'm looking forward to King of Fighters comes out next week. Unfortunately, that's on the PS4, and I don't have a PS4.
Oh,
I still want to get it though, just because it's a fancy collector's edition. I do want to play more Majora's Mask. We have our own local toy show coming up. That's start of October, and like we just said, that seems a ways away, but it'll be here before you know it, and that's right after payday. So, considering that I'm so enthused about toys these days, that'll be a fun time, an expensive time. And I'm looking forward to more of these brand new Transformers. They got their issues, but they're still fun to collect. And I found a green tank guy today. I haven't even taken them out of the package. He's way in the background there. Looking forward to looking at that. And I do some more videos on these. These toy reviews are pretty quick and easy to upload, and that's the kind of videos I like in my busy adult lifestyle.
Yep.
And finally, assuming I do get a PS4 at some point, a game that Austin mentioned a game that Austin mentioned that he was looking forward to, Abzu. It's Journey Underwater. I saw some stream footage of it. It looked really cool. I really want to play that.
Yeah,
So at some point, I'm looking forward to playing that.
it's pretty good.
Cool. All right, gentlemen, that about wraps up this episode. So thank you for being here today. I don't know if there's anyone left in the chat. There's two watching. I think that
Been
might
dead
be.
for a while, huh?
Yeah, two of us. These do go on. But it's good for audio use because, as I've mentioned before, I have been known to listen to podcasts at work, and I'm sure I will listen to this one, among others, soon enough.
Yeah.
Cool. So this was August 19th, 2016, gentlemen. Thank you for being here today, and everyone, thank you for listening / watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, Brasel. Bye, Eric.
Thank you.
Bye. See you guys. See you on the Twitter. Bye-bye. See ya. Oh, and please enjoy this music. Under the Sea. Under the Sea. Okay. So I've stopped the recording, and live stream is still going. Oh, Lexi's here. Sorry about that. Well, thank you for sticking around, Lexi. Right to the end. Austin usually sticks around for a while, too. But yeah, cool. So we're still going as far as the live stream, but we'll be shutting that down in a moment as well. So everyone, once again, thanks for being here, and we'll see you online, be it Twitter or live stream or whatever. Cool.
Good.
Have a good night.